Hello everyone, welcome to a belated episode of By the Numbers. We've been stalling, we've been putting it off, we've been, doing what we do, but we're ready. We're ready to have one. It's going to be an epic episode. We've actually got content to discuss this week, so who fucking knows where we'll go. I'm Richard Lewis, that's Duncan Shields. Sam did the best countdown ever. He was full on into it. You guys should have heard it. Like, full on like a moon landing.
3,
like, guys,
20, 10.
Yeah, T minus. Like, just fucking simmer down.
Whenever I see you and Duncan talking with the mic muted, see, I'm just worried, mate. So I'm just like, 5 seconds, definitely coming live. Everything you're saying, going live. 3, 2,
Mate,
1.
You think we give a fuck about that now?
I know.
You think we give I'm past it. Honestly, I've said it. 2019 is just year with I'm going psycho. I don't give a fuck. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. You can't keep these dirtbags out the fucking industry. It doesn't matter how many times you say we're gonna have to go to DEFCON fucking 1, mate.
Richard,
Mutually assured destruction. It's the only way.
I think I've referenced this once on the show before because there was
sure.
that one time where I just said to everyone now, there was that one weird year, like 2015, where you just had hair, like inexplicably. the rest of the time I knew you looked like you do now. Afterwards, you look like you do now. But bizarrely, for 1 year, like some sort of Back to the Future type scenario, you just had hair, right? And I don't know if I've ever told this part of the story, though.
Brilliant.
Which is that when
just get a roast me on podcast. think very carefully about this story, Duncan, or I'll shut down that Patreon. I'll take your Patreon away.
This is a reasonable story, luckily. But I just want to say, it's the fact that just to show how different each year is, because obviously you have to plan in the long term where you're going. But you remember when your story was when you knew that A-League was kicking off and you were going to go to America, you were telling me how you were going to go full Hollywood and get fucking on teeth.
Have a Milo, get a big fucking
plugs.
Grills, full hair plugs. Yeah, I was just lying, of course.
That would have been amazing.
No intention of that.
No, but I love it if you just rocked up at the next event and you had all liposuctions. All right, lads.
No, but when I was at the fucking when I was working with Milo, he said the same thing. He wanted to, because I was on a big health tip then. I've obviously relapsed and gone back and relapsed multiple times, But I was on a big health tip and I was losing weight. It was in 2015, And Milo said to me he wanted to write an article about me, how because I'd always been a liberal, I'd always been a lefty, and then I fucking start working with him, and it's and look how much better he looks now.
Sure.
And he said you should get hair. He was
joke,
you should get hair transplant, sweetie. It'd be brilliant for the story. We can say you turned conservative and your hair grew back. He's he wanted to sell conservatism as a fucking panacea for getting old. Because he was just a mad cunt like that. But he was literally going to write that piece. He was a funny guy. Anyway, this podcast is brought to you by Rivalry.gg. If you want to gamble on esports and place bets in a safe, ethical, friendly environment, you can do it at Rivalry.gg/RLS and support this show and indeed my channel. Right, so look, lots to talk about. Here's where we're going to start, Duncan. iBuyPower, and not the team. Not the old team.
It was did you see?
But it was the anniversary. Yeah,
the 4-year anniversary.
I know. So I was going to talk about that, but let's start with the event first.
Yeah, okay.
Because they had an event.
Don't have a fucking throne event either.
Exactly.
Absolute garbage, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, okay. There's lots of mitigating.
Oh, there's so much drama in this.
Yeah, I know. It's mental. It's mental. I've got a big document.
Remember.
Yeah, I've got a big document in front of me. But let's just start with talking about the logistics of it.
Yes.
Right, so this was an event that iBuyPower have run successful LAN events. People seem to forget this. It wasn't their first time at the rodeo, but something did change for this one, I was told. There's a company called ULT, ULT, right. And they've ran events, and I think they're one of the guys who runs the company's an apparel company. They sell gamer-related clothing or some shit. And apparently they wanted to work with iBuyPower in partnership on this event. Basically a white label deal. You put the iBuyPower name on it, and we handle the fucking production side of things. Well, I mean, where to begin in terms of the plethora of problems on day one? I mean, first of all, because
that's also pretty good as well. That basically the iBuyPower brand also didn't do anything wrong in this case. But again, their entire name's completely ruined by someone else.
No. This is why even coming into the podcast today, I'm thinking I'm partially responsible for wrecking their brand, but well, not me, but the story, and I don't want to go ham on the fucking event, but I'm telling you, as day ones go, this was pretty fucking bad. So where to begin with the plethora of problems? Here's what we had. We had first of all, they couldn't fit 10. They had a big screen, right, which is where they were going to show all of the action to the crowd, and they'd sold VIP tickets, which were balcony seats. Now, Sam, I don't know if you want to quickly just search for iBuyPower View on Reddit, and you will find a hilarious picture from someone up in the balcony. But what they quickly realized was you couldn't get the 10 pods with the PCs on. You couldn't get them on the stage in a way that at least 3 people could see the big screen.
Yeah, the old classic problem.
Yeah, which is exactly, we were dealing with this shit in like 1.6.
Yep.
You know? So it's like if anybody had run an esports event before and relying on a big screen behind the stage, you would immediately think, well, can the players see the action? They couldn't fit them on in such a way that they couldn't use the screen. So they quickly decided, well, what we'll do is we'll run out and we'll get some monitors for the audience. Well, they went out and got like 2 52-inch TVs, which, again, right, I know it sounds big. Maybe you're like still looking at some little fucking CRT thing, you know, in your house. But a 52-inch television for motherfuckers up in a balcony is and only 2 of them.
It's like, you know, so on this tangent, by the way, I've actually realized that, unfortunately, watching stuff on computer screens has ruined us all for the size of the screen. Like, in the past, it used to be fine with your TV being big, but like 10 feet away from you. The problem is now, if you watch like a laptop, technically you get a better view because you can put it close to yourself. So now your TV has to be massive to make it even feel vaguely cool. And obviously, if you want a live event like this, you want it to be a cinema feeling where you get like the atmospheres. Like, you can't have a little fucking monitor 10 feet ahead of me. Who's going to watch that? I watch on my phone like this. Yeah,
well, that was the thing. People were saying they were up in the stands watching the fucking stream, but it was easier to follow what was going on day one. So I mean, that is just a logistical issue. But then you have the fact that, okay, well, the people on site are having a shit time, but just make your stream work, you know? Like then everyone at home is like, oh, is there problems? Is there problems? Who knows? So I've got some clips here. That'll just show you whoever the sound guy was. You remember the NASL sound guy?
Yes,
was the meme from way back in the day in esports.
StarCraft 2,
I reckon the NASL sound guy. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but basically he had a kid, and he kept it in a basement and fed it fucking fish heads and everything else, and it broke free and was like, I'll produce an event by power. And the sound is outrageous. Like, it's the worst sound mix I have ever heard. Here's a clip for you. Should we 3, 2, 1 this? Because I don't know if you can you show it on stream.
Yeah.
Sam?
Give me a sec.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's all sync this up so we can all have a fucking. This is during an ad break, by the way.
Fucking hell, this ad looks edgy, right? Okay.
No, I know. It's immediately, isn't it? Risky clip. This is like. There's nothing like cartoon terrorists to sell a product in this day and age. You know?
As soon as I see a guy with a cartoon turban on, I'm like, I'm out. I can't be associated with this anymore.
Right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool, right? Want to know where
Made
I got it?
for live betting.
Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time.
He's using the knife to point like, yeah, look, I'm doing bets. I mean, I'll kill you later, like, for religious reasons. But
Cool, right?
have a bet. In the meanwhile, also, Richard, come on, thematically, why are you putting people who are super religious extremists in a video about betting and they're encouraging the betting? Do you even know? Search for this term, haram. No, don't do the autofill for haram, mate. That's an important topic as well. But fucking, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know.
Literally, that's just basement.
But like, it's an advert for CS Money with the audio from LoopBet, a different site, like just looped over the. I'm sure they love that. Like, you know,
it does sound like you stood outside the club and something's going on. It's like,
well, we'll get to that.
Just outside.
We'll get to venue. We'll get to venue. One other example of the sound mix. This is what nobody wants. This haunts Smiths in his dreams. Imagine a turbocharged Dust Moret, right? I know. The world ain't ready, is what I'm trying to say. The world is not ready, right? So 3, 2, 1 this when you're ready, boys.
3, 2, 1, go.
So listen to this audio. It's a fucking nightmare.
I think that game kind of went how we expected it to. Yeah, I mean, that was something, wasn't it? I mean, Fnatic wins pistol. They won the next round, because they're saving, obviously. Once Liquid was able to buy guns. then that was pretty much
Screaming.
That just sounds like fucking
yeah.
Dust right there when he missed
That
that.
CT sound
Was he even
especially
speaking?
just
It sounded like a fucking
yeah.
mad rooster in a cartoon or something.
You know what I mean? And then, like, you can just see he's reaching for the Kappa sign. You know what I mean? Like, just ready to fucking relive the glory days. So the audio mix was a fucking
That's how you
nightmare.
already know the event's fucked is when Dust just rolls up and says, right, well, you know, the history of you at events, mate. So, like, if he's just a camera shot, just get the fuck out of the building. Just get out. You can't be associated with that. You don't know what could happen. Mate, if he reached for a Kappa
That's
sign,
some outrageous shit to say about a fellow professional, dog.
I know,
That's
it's
some
not that
outrageous shit.
Sad thing is, I'll pull
Fucking
for him.
spat
It's
water
like,
everywhere.
you know, doesn't mean it's going to happen for him. You know, I accept that. It might, you know, the world isn't fair, is it? It's like when I'm watching a nature documentary, right? Yeah, obviously I want that gazelle to make it, but I'm not going to shoot the lion. It's still TV. Don't know what that analogy is. You figure what that on me.
What's wrong with you? That's like Trevor and Harvey Weinstein says a bit like that.
Actually, you
Right,
know
anyway.
what's mad is I actually did used to do that when I was a kid, to be honest. When I used to watch like
Shoot lions.
No, I used to just say to my parents, like, why are they letting them just attack it? Like in my nature documentary, it'd be brilliant. It'd be like, and the noble lion comes in on the gazelle. You'd look over and it's be me with a fucking sniper rifle. Got him dead. It's like, where's the footage? No, the lions kill all the gazelles. Nah, not on my watch. Not on my watch.
You and the
Why-
dentist just holding a lion's head.
Why do you like gazelles so much, Mr. Question?
Just because when I was a kid, you naively anthropomorphize them, don't you? So you think, oh no, they're trying to get away. Look, I've seen them raising their kids. He's killing a family. And then what you learn is nature tells you, get ready to clip this. Killing a family's okay. I'm in the context of being a lion, killing a gazelle family. Obviously, clip that.
Look,
That's
I'm
the
glad.
ammunition from the other side.
I'm glad you didn't turn into a furry, because that's another way you could have gone.
Yeah, I just wasn't that into fighting
Anthropomorphizing.
games. I just wasn't into them. I was more of a PC guy, you know.
Anyway, so the audio was a disgrace on day one. I mean, the stream was unwatchable. I like put it on. I was like, okay, they'll fix this in an hour. I'll come back. Still wasn't fixed. I mean, the English language stream was unwatchable pretty much for the entirety of day one. Then let's talk about venue. What's a lesson we have learned from esports, Duncan, down the years about where you hold esports events, right? There is one bane of your existence if you're running an esports event, and it is the hard out, the hard close.
Yes.
Because esports events, especially if you're an inexperienced production team, will have fucking delays. Not only that, even if you're perfect at your job, right? We run a game that can have eternal overtimes.
Yes.
Literally, in a parallel universe right now, there is a game that is never going to finish, right? That's the nature of the game. So to try and fit 10 best of ones into 11 hours is madness. And then on top of that, they're doing it in a nightclub that has a hard out at 9 p.m. Now, down the years, I'll tell you about some, because they want to open it and start selling drinks to cunts and that. So I'll tell you, I remember working in an Electronic Sports World Cup, a couple of them, because they're all fucking morons ever since it got brought back. Their events are garbage. And they, in France, of course, and they had a venue that had a hard out. And they'd just be like, right, sorry, everyone's got to go, press has got to go, everyone's got to go. Like, and it's like they would let the players stay in and play the game, but no one would fucking see it. No one could be there. They were garbage. Happened, if you remember, at that Gfinity with me, you, and Scoots, where I had to fucking go to the security guards and literally negotiate a fucking union busting level of strike to get them to stay on. Ran down the street to try and get all the crowd back so we could finish that fucking Gfinity event that was in the Copper Box, yeah, in London. So you never want a hard out. It's just dumb. And a hard out where you've rented a business that becomes another business, so it's non-negotiable. It's insane. It's insanity. So the venue, as far as I could tell, was a fucking disaster in terms of like choosing it.
Didn't they have
Also,
to
you
actually
think to yourself-
de-rig the stage as well in between?
Yeah,
I remember
well,
hearing
think
they
of
have to
the other
take down the
part.
stage.
Think of the other part as well, Sam. If it turns into a nightclub, I can't see any problems that could happen overnight in a nightclub that could stop the next day of the tournament working. Your mind, think of all the things that could go wrong with just overnight while you're waiting for your event to happen. That'll fuck you as well.
And the other problem it had, and this was the big one, and this is going to be a very controversial part of the podcast, Duncan. But I'm going to take all of the abuse on this one, right, mate? You can play devil's advocate if you want to. I don't care. I'm ready to say what needs to get fucking said, right? Security. So it became apparent after a while of the event that it was running was that they had metal detectors and they had security guards, but they just weren't checking any cunts' bags because they were on such a tight schedule that they just forgot, they just overlooked. And it's like, listen, maybe this would have flown 5 years ago even. Maybe me and you wouldn't have brought this up as an issue. The reality is we have just had a mass shooting at a gaming event. We were always, unfortunately, liable to have one. It's just the nature of the beast, especially in the
surprisingly few, like legit when you consider.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it shows that there's not as many crazy people in the world as you think.
And if that doesn't give you pause for thought, and you want to run an esports event, then I don't know what to tell you. Security really has to be at the fucking paramount of everything we do. Forget just fucking crazies with guns in the US. Think about the game, CS. Think about certain international groups that maybe have, a bit angry with the West. They blew up a kid's fucking concert, for fuck's sake, in Manchester, deliberately to target children. If you wanted to fucking do something like that and really fucking harm the fabric of society to make a political point, you would do it at a concentration where there's lots of young people. And if children's concerts are being targeted, esports events are being targeted, and you need to be really fucking mindful about it. And I'm sorry to sound melodramatic. I'm not one of those guys who think we're like inherently unsafe in our country, but better fucking safe than sorry, right?
Of course.
So not using the security facilities that you have on site is absurd. Now enter one journalist, a chap called DK, who basically said that, hey, I'm here at the event and they're not searching bags. And this was a very divisive statement. And I'll present both sides of the argument for you. The one side of the argument is, well done, DK, for pointing it out, because what happened immediately afterwards were people were asked to leave the venue, come back through the security gates, come back through the metal detectors, get checked, bags were searched, right? The other argument is, by telling people there's inferior security measures, somebody, if they did want to cause trouble or do harm at that event, they might go home, get a weapon, and now come back knowing that it's safe. So you might be inciting somebody to do it. Now, I'll be honest with you, Duncan. I can see both sides of the argument, but you made a great point on Twitter, and that was this. The situation DK was in as a reporter attending the event is that he'd reached out to them, mentioned it, no response. He then used his public platform as a responsible reporter would to point out a deficiency with the event. Let's imagine there was a security problem. Let's imagine somebody had brought a gun or a weapon or, something else, God forbid. And then DK hadn't have said anything and knew. He's getting straight crucified.
Of course. And everyone would say it's on the grounds of not being journalistically ethical. Everyone would be like, you owed it to the public to say.
Yep.
Like, I get if you're a player or someone at the event and you're like, right, so because of that, we're basically now having to wait longer. I get that you're frustrated, but you've misdirected your frustration. Like, why would he be beholden to the event? He's there to do what he does.
Yeah, and we had obviously Zonic, right? Now he's a guy. I like Zonic.
Sure.
He's a guy. I've got a lot of time for him. He's a cool dude. He sort of publicly called him out. It wasn't as melodramatic as Reddit were making out. He wasn't wrecking DK, but he did draw attention to argument B.
Yes.
And
which I do notice, by the way, the general consensus went towards argument B. Like most people on Reddit and on the internet in general seem to agree with the premise of DK shouldn't have said anything because somehow it means all the nutters in the world could come and kill everyone. Like that seemed to be what people came down on as a consensus. It's one of those moments where, again, not to sound too melodramatic, but it does to some degree make me just lose my faith in humanity. Because like I say, I was just thinking the other side of it the whole time. Like, let's say someone just goes and kills everyone and then it turns out DK knew the whole time and didn't say anything. Oh yeah, the other part as well, remember, is when DK publicly said it, iBuyPower's account on Twitter replied and said, like, well, we have checked the bags now. And then someone was like, well, you didn't just check mine. So even then it was proven that they weren't doing what they said. So actually, someone publicly holding their feet to the fire is the only way these motherfuckers are going to do it, seemingly.
Well, yeah, and it's a bit worse than that, because a lot of people were like, because what happened was it came over the stream. And they said, like, can everybody leave and go outside? With this security thing? And everyone was like laughing because the public announcement went out over on the stream, and it happened just after DK brought it up. And people were saying, "Oh, nice one, DK. Now you've caused a delay, and everyone's got to go out." And then, well, no, guys, because there was a thing you missed. There's a thing you missed. Everyone's favorite fucking fan base at it again. A Brazilian guy had fucking tweeted the following. At the time when iBuyPower had said, rest assured, staff are checking bags at the entrance. And a Brazilian dude who goes by the name Pocus on Twitter, at CSTRWW, said, okay, but how am I sitting on row B23 with a Glock in my bag?
Reasonable tweet to do that.
So,
for anyone who doesn't know, as soon as that tweet's done, doesn't matter if it's doesn't even seem plausible. You have to, at that point in time, check every fucking bag. That's it. Because again, use the same logic. Imagine someone gets killed with a Glock. God forbid, even it's that guy. And then later on, people say, well, he tweeted at you, iBuyPower. Why didn't you do anything? Again, you guys are thinking the wrong way. You're thinking from your perspective where nothing happened. Like, what's bizarre, Rich, is people literally want to have their cake and eat it. Because they simultaneously want to say, like, oh, but by saying something, people might come and kill us all. All right, so you're admitting there's a like danger of people killing us all? No, there's no danger, so we could just wait until the end of the day and say it. Well, which is it? Which is it?
So let's talk about why this tweet is an absolute fucking disgrace, in case the penny hasn't dropped for everybody watching the stream. Not only, first of all, as he basically said there's a gun on site, which could have caused panic. This is what prompted everybody to be forced to leave. And then he said, hey, I'm just kidding, I'm in Brazil. He then, in a great show of cognitive dissonance, when people were calling him out saying this isn't funny, he said, hey, if someone has a gun, you can thank me later. Well, imagine you're the guy in row B23.
Oh, of course.
Imagine armed police come and start pointing a gun at you. Imagine you panic. Imagine you get shot dead.
Well, it's like the famous incident.
You've done nothing except have some little fucking rando cunt on Twitter put your fucking life in danger for the fucking lulz.
This is what we always used to say.
Cunts like this are fucking outrageous, by the way.
Of course. This is what we always used to say could happen with swatting until it famously did happen, which is that if you keep swatting people, eventually there's going to be the guy who obviously doesn't know the police are coming, and he's literally going to like come out like, who the fuck's there, and get killed, which is what did happen in that famous case like a couple of years ago, if you remember. Like the same scenario could happen here, as you say. Like, God forbid the guy actually has a fucking backpack at that seat. He's in trouble.
Dude, it happened with, we just saw a swatting case with Tyler Barris, that fucking piece of shit. Fucking swatted a guy. Guy comes out, reaches for his belt line, pop, dead. Doesn't even play Call of Duty. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. People always say, all you got to do is put your hands in the air and comply with police instructions. People go in a shock when they have a fucking gun pointed at them. If you're not used to that shit. Your brain might not process like simple instructions. You might, I've read many occasions. I talked to law enforcement, I've been out drinking with them, and it's like, some guy reaches into his pocket, gets fucking shot, and in his hand is his license. And even though the police is saying like, don't reach. In his brain, he's thinking, if I just get my ID out, I'll get out of this. Well, he doesn't get out of it. He gets fucking clipped and he's dead. And that's that. And, you see how quickly these things can escalate. There was a video just on Twitter the other day. Police officers just walking out a fucking suspect. And the guy just has a gun in his pocket and just pulls it. And he literally, he's that close to him. The officer slaps him away and then has to use lethal force. That's how quickly it can escalate. Police are in a fucking, a lose-lose situation.
They're in exactly the same scenario, Richard. It's the same logic. The same person who goes, wow, you just killed an innocent person. It's like, what if that dude's literally got someone in his like platoon or whatever the fuck you call it, group or whatever in the police who was shot by someone just doing the same thing, pulling it out? Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't on that one. You basically have to perfectly guess which the right answer is without being able to know.
So I mean, that tweet's a fucking outrage, in ways that I can't fucking even begin to fucking fathom that anybody would do that. And it's interesting, isn't it, that individual, there's no thread about him on Reddit. There's no one calling this cunt out. You know, there's no one making sure this guy doesn't go to events like, you know, when ESL hold an event in Sao Paulo. None of that. He's just skating on that. What he's done there is literally endangered lives. 100%. It cannot be classified any other way. And people are angry at DK. For fucking... So, you know, that's where we're at, right? Like, how ridiculous it was. But fair play to bring it back into nice, friendly, fluffy territory. iBuyPower finally did what they had to do. Got people out, started searching bags, started doing what they should have done in the first place. But man, what a clusterfuck. And then I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, at the end of day one, it was so bad. iBuyPower obviously had to issue full refunds to everybody, which again, fair play to them for doing so.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think isn't that like a unprecedented move? I can't think of many events that have had to issue refunds.
I don't think I've seen refunds before, but I would also say most events just wouldn't do it. Like people would think, right, well, I've already lost the event. The event's going to shit. At least I'm going to fucking take the money to cover my costs. Like actually, fair play to them as a brand for the gesture. They're not required to do it, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So you know.
One last thing to say though, by the way,
I want
to get since it turns out obviously we're both fairly aligned on our position on this one because like. The whole angle of what you called the devil's advocate position, which is like by making people aware of the security problem, you might make it worse. It's like, I don't buy that angle though, because the weird thing about that angle is it assumes a worst case scenario that, as I've pointed out, they don't assume for their original scenario. Because remember, some people, including pro players, were saying, why not wait until the end of the day to do it? So you acknowledge that these people are at risk of being shot, but it's cool to let them have 5 or 6 hours more of being at risk of being shot before you deal with the issue. Like that already seems a logical flaw. Like you're not being generous in how you treat both sides of the argument there. And then secondly, the weirdest part about it to me is it really makes me wonder what people think the motivation for committing these murders is. Like, I don't think a person, this is just my guess, I wouldn't claim to know, but I don't think someone sat at home and they're like, right, you know what? Would love to kill loads of people in some sort of a shooting at an esports event, but I imagine the security is probably quite tough, so I won't do it. Oh, what's that? There's a tweet saying that actually there's an event that at the time of the tweet wasn't using proper security, but logically, since he's just tweeted that, will now have intense scrutiny on it and probably is doing the security. So I'll just head down there now and kill people, even though I'm saying all this as a totally rational actor, which presumably from the cases we've seen is not how people who are mass shooters behave. Like they behave on, like they are emotional drive of some sense. Maybe they have a connection to the person they want to kill, or the people, you know, it's like
very often planned out in advance as well. I mean,
as far as I can tell, their scenario, the devil's advocate one, only would seem to work if you were some sort of very bizarrely impulsive yet super intelligent serial killer. Like I can't see what other person. Like I think it's basically I think the benefit of getting the security problem fixed now by putting public pressure on them massively outweighs the risk of, you know, this random person thinking, well, I can just cruise in there because there's no security. I don't kind of buy the argument really. I get the premise, like the concept's not terrible. I just don't think it would work in practice rather.
So we can move on to talking about the actual tournament now. And this is where the conditions just in general weren't particularly well thought out. There was a tweet here by Steel. It's got a video in it. No need to really look at it, but basically there were no noise cancelling headphones.
I know a lot of people complained about that.
Yeah, and that was had a huge impact on obviously the competitive integrity, especially because, you know, certain teams, you know, it's an American event. American teams going to have, you know, advantages and stuff like this. So, yeah, it was pretty just poorly thought out. Also, as well, apparently the practice PCs were of like a different caliber, and they ended up having to play some games simultaneously off stream. Like, I feel massively sorry for Steel because this we'll get into. You know, Ghost had some of their best performances at this event. They beat like FaZe twice, and both times nobody saw it. You know, it wasn't broadcast. It was actually off stream. So, but yeah, just in terms of the logistics of it, it was a fucking nightmare. I mean, like noise cancelling headphones, that's like a fucking another basic gimme. You know, if you've ever run a CS event, you would know about that.
It's the most famous thing a player will complain about as well. Like, you could even get it done pretty well, and if one little beat gets in, obviously the guy who loses the game is going to be primed to complain about it. So it's also, unfortunately, if you're a TO, like, it's the one you have to get fixed, because that's going to be that and the FPS of the PCs will be the first thing pro players complain about.
Yeah. So I suppose with all of that, right, one of the big questions about this fucking tournament is, and I suppose we can maybe work our way backwards through it, is, Team Liquid, they won it, and they finally beat Astralis, that thing we were talking about at the end of 2018. Will it ever happen? It's a very one-sided rivalry. It's their final boss. They've had 5 attempts in finals and lost them all, or whatever it was, or 5 attempts at like finals and semifinals, I think. When a Liquid's going to get one? Well, they got one at the iBuyPower Masters. Now, unfortunately, with all of the noise and the bullshit that's going on, people say, well, is there an asterisk next to it? This is a question I got asked on Twitter quite a bit, and I thought I'd leave it for the show. It's very tough to answer that in a way that isn't disparaging about Liquid's great performance. But here's what I will say. On day one, I think when they had that huge delay when Astralis were meant to play Complexity. Apparently, again, people on site told me this. Astralis were just going to leave the tournament.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because they were just sat around for like... They got told to go in early. It was one of the early games. And they immediately got hit with a 3-4 hour delay. And they just sat around doing nothing. And they were like, you know what? Maybe we just drop out of this one. Like, fuck it. It's not worth it at this point.
I wouldn't blame them because, like bearing in mind, they're especially in their particular position, not only can they have a massive political influence on the tournament by dropping out, but as you said, they are literally potentially giving up losses that people are going to think meaningful when they're playing at an event that obviously has unacceptable conditions. Like just having that many delays. Like if I've prepped my whole day to play you, I'll make up a time, 2 p.m. I've probably eaten my food, especially, so that it's going to make me have enough time. Like I've slept for all that. And then now you add on 4 or 5 hours out of nowhere, right? Well, remember, I don't know at any point in that 4 or 5 hours, it's going to be 4 or 5 hours. So I'm probably not going to 1 hour into eat and going, right, it's going to start any minute. So you can already see how there's a million reasons why if you were Astralis, like, I think you'd be well within your rights to just leave.
Yeah, for Complexity, I think because this was an event with their new lineup, obviously it's more important for them. Astralis.
Yes.
They can take or leave an event like this. But in the end, it got going. Astralis, they had a pretty, based on the caliber of opposition that was there, I think they dodged some opponents that I felt would have given them a better game. They hammered Complexity in the opening when it finally got started. They beat Cloud9. Then they had to play Ghost, who were kind of the surprise one to get in there. And then obviously they make it to the final. So Astralis is the only real opponents they played at this were Liquid. But that being said, Liquid had a much tougher route through the tournament and put in a great performance. I mean, in particular, just over the course of the tournament, this was one of Dupree's worst. I think it was the first time he'd gone below a 1.00 HLTV rating in like over a year or something crazy. So that was a big miss for Astralis. But I don't know. What do you think? We'll talk about the specifics of the performance in a moment, but just in terms of you get to the final, you're playing Liquid, you've probably not had a great time. There's lots going wrong. No noise cancelling headphones, home crowd, shit like this. Do you think this is a legit win for Liquid? Is it harsh to say that they finally, they haven't actually finally conquered the final boss?
Like the thing about it is this event already, obviously, as an event itself, just looking at the format and the timing and when it takes place, clearly isn't like one of the biggest events of the year. Now it ended up looking like it feels like it should be a bigger event than it is because you had Astralis, FaZe Clan, Team Liquid, Fnatic, some of the best teams in the world there. So that in itself pumps it up a bit, makes it more exciting. We want to see who plays in the playoffs, etc. So I already think the event itself wasn't that crazy. Like for me, this is actually like, because of the team list, it's slightly better, but it's still around the level of the sort of events Team Liquid has won before. CS Summit, the fucking Supernova, it's around that sort of level, just with some slightly better teams. I will say, any time there's a tournament that has really serious problems, especially delays or tech problems, I do. If a team who wins or loses that event says, I don't count it as much because of those, I wouldn't blame them. So if they want an asterisk, I think it's fair. It's just you have to apply it to everyone's. So it might sound harsh to Team Liquid, but I would just put it this way. If you're Team Liquid and you think, come on, man, like we just beat them finally. It's like, yeah, but here's the thing. If Astralis had beaten you here, I'd say the same thing. I'd say also, well, this one doesn't count the same way as the other victories they had over you. So I think just to be fair, you probably have to say that because look, like the format meant it was all best of ones in the group. That's kind of shit. Then it was like all the problems logistically with the event. Then the fact it's like the first event of the year, you've had a massive fucking layoff. There's a million reasons as to why, like, it just did feel like I would put an asterisk next to this event. Congrats to Team Liquid all the same. I hope they take that and take the whole victory and parlay it into a real win and bigger event soon,
Yeah, well, this is the key thing. I mean, in terms of the performance, if you obviously factor in, you can only play in the circumstances that are there. I
Of
thought
course.
I thought what Liquid did first of all was
I'll give you an
uncharacteristic.
example. You
Yeah.
know that legendary game that basically, since obviously like the Patriots are on my mind because of the NFL. You know the legendary game that kickstarted their dynasty was the one against the fucking Raiders when it was in the snow and you had that tuck rule thing with fucking Brady doing the throw when they said it was like an incomplete pass, not a sack, and then later on Adam Vinatieri kicks the field goal. Right. This is where the conditions of the field is. It's just snow across the entire field. And first of all, if you're from fucking Boston and the other team's from Auckland, I think you might have an edge if it's snow all over the field. It's not going to be like that on their home court. So, like in those circumstances, I think that should have an asterisk next to it. That's not normal circumstance to play American football, is it? It's like if you play a cup final in England and the pitch is all ruined by mud and water and stuff. Like, yeah, you still win. Someone had to play on that day and win, and someone gets the trophy. We can't delay the tournament like a week till it's nice weather. But if someone who loses then goes, I never really counted that as like a proper game, I don't mind that. I think that's fair enough. You can have a complaint if it's a legit, change of the circumstances.
So yeah, I agree. I think there was a lot of positives here. That's what makes it hard for me to like sort of be all doom and gloom in terms of Liquid. Like, you can't, cause you have to give them credit for what they did do, and that is. So, I mean, first of all, they went 1-0 down in the series, and Astralis dominated the first map. Well, very often, will you see Liquid be able to dig deep, especially in series against Astralis? The answer is no. The fact that they were able to come back, it was Dust 2, which was Astralis's pick, and they come back and they win 16-11 to take it all the way, and then they win out on Overpass. And again, the two wins that Liquid had, very convincing. And then, just in terms of the performance, I mean, everybody put in a shift here. I mean, when you consider that Elige had really good stats, but was statistically the worst in the finals, and then like NAF obviously just went off again, it really points to just how much talent and strength and depth this team has. I think Stewie, you can see he's a very different player based on this to what was going on when he was in MIPR. He's got a little bit of his mojo back. And when you start thinking that, Elige was like the great hope of NA. He was like the clear number one NA player for a long period of time, and they can afford to have him have a quiet game and battle back against Astralis. I think even though the asterisk is there, and I agree with you, I think if you're a Liquid fan, you've got to be super excited about the upcoming major, because what this event showed me is, even with all the asterisks, Liquid can be real fucking contenders here, and they seem to have hit the ground running in terms of this starting five.
Yeah, what looked good about this is actually one of the reasons why in the past, when people spitballed potential roster moves, adding someone like Stewie 2K was one of the things I actually thought would be a good move. I didn't necessarily want it to go for tackle at the time. So the reason why is because obviously you add in even more good players and playmakers, like your ceiling can go way higher. Like now you could have a crazy game like that. Like the ridiculous thing people won't realize, thanks to fucking morons like HLTV.org basically telling the world that like Astralis had 5 of the top 20 players over the entire year. Like in no universe. Like that's like, I'll give you an analogy, right? That's like going and getting like the fucking 3rd best defender on fucking Barcelona and saying he's better than like the striker of fucking Chelsea or something because Chelsea isn't winning their league. Like, no, obviously it's not in any universe. Well, the reason why I say this is so stupid is because what I'm about to say makes no sense in the context of a world where the HLTV's logic makes sense, which is this. Team Liquid has a more skilled lineup on paper than fucking Astralis does. Well, guess what? We already know FaZe Clan's used that strategy to beat Astralis before. It's obviously a way you can beat superior tactics and team players, just make people shoot them in the head. So the upside of having Stewie is you've got a way bigger ceiling. The question obviously is, how will you develop in terms of consistent roles? What will carry game to game, Because this was a great performance here in terms of, like, as you say, it just looked like a bunch of the players went off. Some of them didn't, but it doesn't matter because you've got so much talent now. And if you have a great game like this, who can't you beat? You should be able to beat, in theory, anyone. Like, there's never been an NA team in history that had a lineup like this. This lineup's fucking crazy. In fact, I realize they're going to retain some of the Team Liquid quality. So if Team Liquid used to be mini Astralis, well, now they're like mini FaZe. If you look at the talent of the players they've got, they have that option as well. They can also sort of turn the boys loose and see what they do. So I think it's very exciting. I just want to see, like, obviously, first of all, can you just do it at a big tournament? The majors coming up would be ideal. And as well as that, how do you fare against the other teams? Like, are you still going to be the consistent team that's the top team? Are you going to be a bit more streaky? Because this is the thing, I don't mind if they end up being like the fourth best team, but they can win events. That'd be cool in its own way.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like the only player that isn't on this roster who's like a real international force from NA is Automatic, right? I mean, this is like an embarrassment of riches that Liquid has right now. And what I'm also intrigued by is, and not a lot of people brought this up. We talked a lot about how a big loss Zeus would be, but obviously having Eric come in, this was like, Adrian's kind of first coaching gig, and they said on stream that actually, he's I think it was Twists, I think, said something on stream along the lines of, he's been really down with the minutiae of what the team's doing, been very hands-on tactically, giving us a lot more structure than we've had before. So honestly, I mean, for all the people, again, it's recorded, we can't take it back. The doom and gloom surrounding the move that looked like Stewie 2K going one way, and everything else that was going on, it looked like maybe Liquid were getting a bad move. Actually, if they can make this all work and apply a good tactical coach that we suspect might be a little bit more tactical than Zeus, this is this is really exciting for NA. But equally, I still think Astralis are hot favorites for the major.
If anything, that's actually the part that sucks about this for Team Liquid. It's like you did get your win in the least meaningful of the tournaments you played them in. So, and if you're Astralis, you're definitely just using the logic I said. Obviously not publicly, but privately you're going, who gives a fuck about that event? They just got us, it was that dog shit iBuyPower event. We'll get them at the next event. Doesn't feel real to you. Obviously, if you're Team Liquid, you should go the other route and just go, who cares? We had to lose to them in circumstances. Maybe we weren't good on stage or whatever. Those all count. So this counts as well. We've broken the curse, no problem. So hopefully it means next time they play this, like, you just remove that whole psychological edge aspect, which, to be fair, teams usually do a good job of like thinking of it the way I do, which is like, if you have a new player, it's a new lineup. Like, forget what happened in the past.
Yeah. So I was going to segue into talking about the 4-year anniversary of the iBuyPower bans by sort of linking it to Ghost and their performance here. I thought Ghost Gaming did very well and continued to show just kind of how sad it is that we're never going to see them at a Valve sanctioned event. What Steel has done and continues to do is mind blowing to me. Because if I was to show you this lineup on paper, and say this beat FaZe
twice.
This beat FaZe twice. This nearly took a map off Astralis on Inferno if it wasn't for one error. And sure, they were blown out by Liquid a little bit, but if I was to say that, you'd be like, you're out of your fucking mind. They've got they got Freakazoid. Who's this Neptune kid? And what's really unbelievable about it is, in all of those games, like, Steel wasn't just the in-game leader. He's top fragging as well. Like, his stats at this event were crazy for any IGL by any metric.
And if you actually look, what's wild is, aside from when Wardell has games where he pops off, the reason Steel must be working like a motherfucker in this team is when they win games. It's not like when Space Soldiers or Vegas Squadron upset someone back in the day, and it's like 3 or 4 players you don't really know just have 90 ADR and they're all scoring ham. Like, they're not even actually topping the fucking stats charts even when they win these games. That's how you know you're not doing it just shooting people in the head.
It's insane. So it sort of brings back, I can't believe it's been 4 fucking years. And, I've talked about it before. I've done video interviews because obviously I was instrumental in reporting the story. So everyone always wants to ask me about iBuyPower. It comes up all the time, even when I do mainstream media.
Thing is, Richard, I personally, I've changed my whole perspective on that. Like, I think now, why couldn't you have just waited until the next major before you said that there was a problem with match fixing? Because by saying that, you could have encouraged everyone to match fix before Valve closed the loophole. So
yeah,
doesn't that work on every aspect of logic?
Apparently not. No. But it just seems really bizarre to me, and it always leaves a bad fucking taste in my mouth when like I say, the logic applied over in Dota when every time you see Solo, winning events,
3-2-2-1.
Yeah. He was the guy who famously threw a match for $322 and got a 1-year ban from Valve sanctioned tournaments. And the argumentation that's always been put forward is because he was the first they hadn't encountered anything like that before, and they didn't know where they want to go with it. Well, why can't you retroactively apply? You know, they recently in Dota retroactively applied a ban effectively to Cuckoo because he didn't apologize, and the Chinese government were getting all pissed off about him having issued a slur against the Chinese language, you know, an onomatopoeia. It's not even a racist term. And I don't get, like, it's just outrageous that this guy gets to, you know, well, okay, it's not outrageous. I believe, if anything, the Solo situation is more proportionate.
It's more reasonable.
Yeah. You know, that he gets to come back after a year. It's the fact that it's like, where's the consistency in this approach? And now, sure, I understand that Dota players get banned for life as well. There's never been any high-profile ones. Obviously, the Chinese scene still stinks to fucking high heaven, and does so in CS as well. But yeah, it's just mind-blowing to me that, like, after 4 years, we don't revisit. And look at where we are.
You remember, by the way, Rich, this is another thing that I hate about any kind, because the problem with these sorts of topics is they almost become political, and as much as whichever side you're on, people get really emotionally caught up in it, and therefore you can't have like quiet, intelligent discussion. You just have people who are really furious, screaming at each other. By the way, on both sides, like for example, it's very easy to get emotionally indignant of like, wow, you've banned these people and ruined their careers. So you can go that way as well. But I will say this. Fuck every mealy-mouthed person 2 years ago or so where you revealed that you talked to Valve and they were like, no, we have no plan to revisit these bans. And so when we say indefinite, like we essentially are saying forever, because that used to be what every little fucking ball licker used to say, used to go, yeah, but they said indefinite. That means technically they could review them ever, but they're not ever going to do that. They've basically told you this is a life ban, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've done everything I've done everything I can do. You know, I've had meetings with Valve. I've said to them, like, listen, you know, even if you believe that there's an instigator in the group, then sure, ban them for life. You know, listen, the guy who had the ties to the Vietnamese fucking betting syndicates who influenced these guys to throw, yeah, fucking give him a life ban. Sure, fine. You know, but like it comes down to the whole, you know, like Dazed already tapped out. So it's not that big a deal for him. But, like, obviously Swag tried to still play, and Steel is still playing to a very high standard and working hard. And it's just like, after 4 fucking years, can we not just get a bit of, like, common sense? Just a bit of relief. Like, I talked to a fucking sports lawyer about trying to get an appeal. Like, have an appeal, at least. Even if it's a fucking showboat load of bullshit where you've already made your mind going in. At least then there's some sort of sense that justice is played out a little bit better than it has. And it just isn't like that. And it's like I say, these guys, you know, I'll advocate for them, even though they were fucking, they would have happily wrecked my career and reputation to get away with it.
Yeah, that was one of the most fucked up parts of that. Everyone forgets about, where they just basically like lied and then said they didn't do it.
But it's fine. You know, when you're trapped into a lie that deep and you suspect that the worst might happen and you might be getting a...
Oh, you're obviously going to, at that point in time, what's not to gamble? Yeah. It's like, what's the joke there? It's like that famous example they always give nowadays, right? Where there's like, back in the days of the first emperor of China or something, he made the rules too strict for any sort of disobedience, right? So there's this famous story where this general shows up, him and another general about to show up to a battle late, and they go, oh, we're late. And then they go, well, what's the punishment for being late? And then they go, it's death. And they go, well, what's the punishment for sedition then? And they go, death. They go, right, well, let's just go have an uprising then. Because, you know, it's like the same logic, isn't it? Like at that point, you may as well lie. You're already so deep. As you saw, you got fucking banned from the game forever. May as well have a lie.
Well, and this is the other thing as well. I mean, when the first strike offense is a lifetime ban, and there's still no legality around this, remember, we still haven't got federal laws around it. You know, you would have to take a fucking test case to the fucking courts in America to even try and get this recognized as being illegal. Because it's, you know, it's essentially a cryptocurrency. You know, it's not a recognized sport. The game happened outside of any recognized legal American framework. So
I imagine, by the way, that's also why Valve were very clever in that they didn't say that he couldn't play in tournaments they didn't organise. They just sort of implied that they might not like it, and then all the other tournament organisers followed suit. Because I imagine the lawsuit you do, if you're trying to prove that they've wrecked you making future earnings, is way higher if you can then show that they, convince totally unrelated third parties to exclude you for something you didn't even do in their tournament.
yeah,
That's all. That could also be dodgy. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I reckon they probably played the right cards there to not get wrecked.
but now, so just imagine anything where it's like you say, you commit any crime, and if they catch you, the punishment is death. Well, once you cross the line, while you're on the run, may as well go fucking nuts, right? May as well. There's no room for leniency. There's no room for clemency. There's no appeals process. So these motherfuckers may as well be throwing games now. That's the madness. What does it fix? What more can happen to them now? Like, you've took away the chance to play at the highest level. Initially, partners that were going to bid for the majors felt pressured to, in their own minds, not because Valve had said anything, but just in their own minds, that they'd imagined that they were like, well, we got to mirror these bands.
With the logic,
mirrored the bands.
as you say, the logic being, remember, the reason why it's very clever from Valve is because by saying something along the lines of like, we wouldn't ban these people, but, we'd rather they didn't play or something. It's like, remember, everyone pitches for the major each time. So the point is, you're thinking to yourself, well, just to stay on Valve's good side, I won't include those banned players in my tournament. That way they'll think that I'm more in line with them on their version of a tournament.
Yeah.
It's like a passive ban, basically.
Yeah, and I don't know what to say about it. Like, it just seems all fucking arse over tit, and I can't imagine any other sporting system where you literally have a lifetime ban, first offense, no appeals process based on an internal investigation that is never turned over to the public. Because sure, like, I know what I did, I know what I found. And so did the public. But I don't know what Valve did after me. I gave them everything. I gave them the breadcrumbs. And then you get into these, like, mad situations where, like, fucking Skadoodle gets to play. Played on a team, definitely threw, definitely knew about the throw, definitely had been involved in conversations with the guys when they were discussing the throw, and they all tried to, like, and the only reason he doesn't get banned is there weren't enough skins to go around on payout day. They were up to the limit with the bots. So how's that fucking sensible? How's that a good system? You have a guy
anyone out there who goes, no, but someone who was involved in the crime said this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. You fucking moron. We don't go on people's own opinion in a court case. Oh, dude, you murdered all these people. Nah, I didn't. Oh, well, he says he didn't.
The same motherfuckers.
You look at the evidence. He would have, by the way, the circumstantial evidence of his case would say that he's guilty as well. Of course. He didn't get the money yet.
The same motherfuckers that were doing him a solid in public saying, he didn't know, and we kept him aside, and we whispered, or whatever. No, they were telling me, yeah, of course he knew. Because he knew. How do you not know? Think about that. It's like, if one guy on your team goes rogue, sure. Right? But, the fact that he was in line to get a cut of the skins tells you everything.
Yeah, people don't even realize that as well. There's two other factors you have to think about. One, he took part in the crime. Like, I don't care if you tell your mates, I think robbing a bank's wrong, guys, but I'll just hang around with you in the van. You're going to jail as well, mate. You're an accessory. Well done. Yeah. Like, the way that you say, I don't want to do it, is you refuse to take part. You make the manager play. You make someone sub play. You don't play the game. As soon as you take part, even if you, in your brain, don't intend to profit, you took part in the crime. Doesn't matter. Secondly, when did he say he didn't want the skins, etc.? After the fucking
after the story,
you can claim before. Nobody said it before. We still did.
No, it's worse than that. It was after my initial report with the fucking Shazam logs went out. He was still on board to take it. Then when he realized Richard Lewis is on this, actually, let's fucking hold the phone on them skins, yeah? That's the truth.
Everyone else didn't have that option because some of the other people who got paid immediately.
They'd already took them, yeah.
It's too late for them to make that choice. You don't know who would have made that choice.
Even if they sent them back, they would have been banned. That's what I'm talking about. That's
I believe it actually was Swag who said something along the lines of, like, he didn't even know that Skadoodle said no to him. Like, he thought, well, everyone's taking him.
Yeah.
Something like so he even said the logic that implied, again, we don't know if he thought the truth, but it implied if he didn't know it was an option, he might have done it.
Yeah, well, no, that's what Swag said. He said, as far as he was concerned, he didn't even know it was an option to not fucking be in it. He didn't realize that, like, you could, oh, no, I'm out, and I don't want the skins. He thought it was like, we're all in it, thick as thieves.
And we've all done the crime anyway. You think yourself, might as well at least fucking benefit from it, right? You know the mad thing about this, Richard, though? This brings up another topic that's a side tangent that tilts me about this whole issue, is that, as usual, human beings aren't rational actors. No matter what they say, I've always had this philosophy, especially the more I've experienced in life I've had, is that people react emotionally, and then the rational part of their brain creates a clever excuse as to why they reacted emotionally to make it seem logical. And as a result, what people do in cases like this is their brain has a flow chart and it goes, do I like this person? No. Right. That means we're talking about Dazed, or at the time, funnily enough, Steel, who's now very popular, incredibly unpopular at the time. Dazed and Steel were the ones where everyone thought, fuck these guys, fuck them to death. Like, the only people that anyone felt sorry for was Skadoodle, fucking Swag, AZK never talks, like people like that, right? People already divided you up. So if you were the guy they didn't like, then they have no sympathy. You should be punished to the maximum of the law, banned forever. You're probably a piece of shit anyway. Otherwise, so in this particular case, they'll believe any amount of lies as long as it means Skadoodle's innocent completely. Same the reason why when they come to unbanning Richard, you notice when I did my tweet celebrating the anniversary, I did a tag to unban every player. I even included fucking D-Born, who wasn't even on iBuyPower, because logically, if these people have committed a crime, then the time span that they received for the crime, since they were all treated equally, should be identical. So if you're gonna, if I want to have Swag unbanned, I have to unban D-Born. It's the only ethical way to do it. So I'm amazed by the people, Rich, who take an ethical stance and yet seemingly violate like that. They want Swag unbanned, but Daze should stay banned because he didn't want to play CS 3 years later. Or some very weird logic comes into this particular topic, you know.
But while we're talking about fucked logic, right? If the logic from Valve is we can't have these guys come back ever because of the message it sends, and that's what they've said to me. You know, they in that meeting, they said we have to have players terrified to do two things for our whole infrastructure to work, and that is to get caught cheating or to get caught match fixing. That was their words, and they said, and if we don't have that fear factor of the lifetime ban, then we believe that activity will become more prevalent. Right, and they're worried about the message it sends. Okay, what greater message can you fucking send that as long as you're clever with where the money goes, you can play at a major and win a major and be MVP at a major, but played in a team that everyone knows you fixed. Confetti raining on your head. I'm not crying, you're crying. You know, and basically all it means is now, as long as you don't get fucking caught or the money goes into some offshore bank account or something Valve can't trace, have at it, guys. So that to me is an even more fucking dangerous message, isn't it?
That is actually the most illogical part, is that you've set a deterrent to a crime nobody will ever attempt anyway, because the deterrent shows you how to not do the crime in the stupidest manner, which is you have a massive group of people, you tell outsiders, and then the third part, and are you ready for the key part that everyone always misses, is that the only reason this is the part, like there's two factors I always bring up as context for people who don't know this part of the story. One, the only reason these people were ever banned by Valve is because the girlfriend of someone who wasn't on the team but took part in the throw was scornful and resentful of the fact that that person, unrelated, had been, we'll just say, had ruined their relationship. Okay? Yeah, good, and so because that person had ruined their relationship, this person came forward with evidence, which is the only reason Valve banned them. Secondly, so first of all, it wasn't even about the throw. Secondly, the other detail is because it was so early in throwing and they did it so spur of the moment. That's the worst part of it, that they did it like they didn't plan it. And because they didn't premeditate and plan it over weeks and weeks and set up all their getaway plan, they received the actual skins that had been bet on the match. Well, that's the easiest thing to trace. Because if I can find you've got an Orp Asimov skin that was bet on that match and you played in that match, game over. I don't even have to prove anything else. That's it. You're done. How else would you have that skin? So these people, if they had simply had someone who had the skins from the match, PayPal them the money in dollars, game over, you'll never find that. Valve's not getting access to anyone's PayPal. So the dumbest part is no one ever is going to commit this crime again. Like, unless they are absolutely the dumbest person in the world. Like, there's no one going to do that crime. It doesn't exist. And so the maddest thing is, none of the people, there could have been a million throws since then. We'll never find out. We'll never catch them in that manner again. So again, I don't really think that logic even holds up.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have Captain Moore from Tai Lu put out chat logs that actually incriminate him and raise more fucking questions than answers about whether or not Tai Lu were involved in throws in 2015 and 2016. And where's the follow-up investigation? I think that's the thing that makes me more annoyed. Is that okay? You put that blog post out. What was it? Risky Business or whatever the fuck it was called, or is that the film with Tom Cruise? Whatever. But Unnecessary Risks it was called.
Okay.
And they put that blog post out, Valve, and they said,
Never my forthcoming biography.
yeah, and they said you shouldn't even associate with gamblers, and you shouldn't talk to gamblers, and you shouldn't give information about games for gambling. Brother, I got a hard drive in that fucking cupboard over there where if it ever fucking got connected to this machine, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to ban people for that then? Because I will list you players, major winning players that are playing now at a top level who have been involved in sharing information about practice sessions and stuff like this with known gamblers. I got fucking, are you going to investigate that? Of course you're fucking not. So you roasted these cunts with a lifetime ban. And you've ignored everything else, and you don't have the infrastructure to investigate any of this. And it's like I said, I've got no faith in the system being fair anymore. Like, I'm gonna wait and write a memoir style thing about all of this shit.
Yeah, there's another thing, Richard. Right? Logically, because here's the part. Like, the reason I don't think I emphasized the context enough there. The point is, the story was already out for months, guys. Like, the throw took place, off the top of my head, I think it was like the 22nd of August or something. They got banned in January of 2015. So we're talking like almost 4 months later. It might have been about 4 months later. The reason why it took 4 months is because even when Richard published the story, which, by the way, circumstantially made it very clear they'd thrown the game, but it was one of those ones where I will admit, if it was a court case, you'd have a hard time proving it. It'd be one of those ones where it's like, looks like he probably murdered that guy.
It was testimony, but there was reasonable doubt. Yeah.
It's like they couldn't. He didn't have that. He didn't have the smoking gun, as it were. The smoking gun later, obviously, was the skins and then the phone itself. Like, that's what key. But here's the thing: up until Richard got the phone and therefore was able to track all the skins, etc., Valve was probably not going to do anything about this story, right?
No, I mean that was the thing. It was like it was already in the public domain. We had. So here's what we had. We had. I've got to remember this. We had a bettor who had said he had been the fixer and set up the skins and the distribution of skins. And we had his testimony. We had Shazam's initial conversation with another journalist who brought the story to me, saying there's going to be a throw tonight with timestamped Steam conversation.
Another one of the reasons, by the way, why Shazam was very unpopular in the scene for a long time, because people felt like he just sort of ratted people out,
No, but here's the other thing with that. Well, I mean, people said I'd fake the screenshots. Well, again, Valve could have jumped in any time. We all know that they were keeping data. So I'm sure Valve could have checked that. Didn't want to. Then we got Shazam to go on the record and say it was a throw. The players had told me it was a throw. And then I think we'd found the screenshots of D-Born's girlfriend that was circulating publicly, which had been downvoted on Reddit, removed from ESEA, and hidden. And nobody took it serious. And meanwhile, all this time, this is going on 6 months, I'm getting wrecked. Oh, and we also had betting records from CSGO Lounge that showed all the shift in betting and guys who were on the Steam friends of the iBuyPower players and the bets they placed and placed for who on similar IPs at the same time. These guys, it was amateur hour. I showed it to this lawyer who specialized in this shit. He says the iBuyPower case, if it had been real sports, it was amateur hour. It would have been flagged by any reputable gambling company in seconds. It was that transparently obvious. So we had all of that already. And it took, like you say, it took the chat logs. It took me laying all of this out, coming up with a timeline, and then gaining access to proof that these texts had gone from D-Born to this girl's phone, then sending all that to Valve via a generic Valve email. And I still got nothing. At no point during any of that, this is a 6-month period, did Valve reach out to me and go, this looks pretty serious. They didn't want to deal with it. And then, boom. Obviously, I literally went to bed one day and just woke up. And it had happened. And I wasn't consulted or double-checked or asked for anything. And they just did it based on the record. And it's like, why do you not have someone internal to Valve that are looking?
Yeah, that was
at
going to be my point.
skins
Logically,
transactions?
after this happens, Richard, bear in mind what you've essentially shown Valve is your current system is not capable of actually catching any of the people doing this. Like, I'm showing you that by what I had to do, the lengths I've had to go to, like, this is what you have to do to get your attention, right? If they really cared about stopping throwing, they'd have had a person in place themselves from then on. It was sort of like a police force who goes and searches out these things. Because the reason that topic tilts me, Richard, is this is one area where Valve can't pretend like they're, you know, like what Valve and Riot Games love to fucking do, which is they use the old scenario where they always fall back to the angle of like, I try to treat all of my players as equal. I don't have any favorites in my children. You are all my children. I treat the casual player just the same as the pro player. Except that's the point. For these throws, no one really gives a fuck if it's a semi-pro player no one's heard of. You should be investigating quite thoroughly and often the people who are at the top playing these online games. How was that not happening for the past 4 years? How was there not someone looking into every time, like every time there's some match like Existence's LDLC beats fucking Fnatic with like Olaf Meister or something, like when that happens, you should be investigating that game and looking, is there any unusual betting patterns? What are the skins going back and forth? Like, how is that not a like standard process? Because that's the good thing about the pro scene. It's so small. You actually don't have a 10 bazillion games to go through. You've got quite a limited amount that look really dodgy.
Let me show you a tweet from 2015, and I've told you that there's a way to get the Holy Grail, catch everyone who ever fixed. Well, pretty much. There was two big gambling groups across Europe and NA. And there was one guy, and he's a legend, and I talked about him a bunch of times, and no one's ever fucking really done anything with this. And he was called Stormberg. And he was a cunt who had hundreds of bot accounts, and he would just fix games, and he would just, because he had so many bots, he could like just shift odds whenever he wanted. And he was
for anyone who doesn't know, you need the bot because you can only bet so many skins on your own account. You can't bet like
there was a limit in place
or whatever for obvious reasons.
Well, in 2015, right? After about a year of CSGO Lounge staff themselves placing bets the same way Stormberg would bet to make money, and I've got evidence of that.
By the way, again, this is another one of those reasons why, even though the way it happened was a little bit debatable, fuck CSGO Lounge to the ground forever. I'm glad they're gone. I'm glad they are.
Well, sure, gone. But I mean, I couldn't have found the iBuyPower guys without one of their employees.
Fair enough.
But you're right. I mean, it's like he was the fucking antibody out of the tumor that you then go to use to cure, you know? Anyway, fucking, they banned all of Stormberg's accounts. Just look at that tweet. Look how many accounts they've banned there. Right? And this cunt had more. And he was into he was funding esports organizations. I won't say their name, but you all know who you are. You took money off this motherfucker. He was trying to create his own series of online cups and tournaments and just have them all rigged, every game from start to finish rigged, like WWE, right?
Without admitting it.
Yeah. And he was inducing teams and talking to teams. Do you want to come play in a rigged tournament? We'll all get rich. And I've got all the proof. Why would Valve, knowing all of this, because they must know it if I know it, why have they not just looked at all of his Steam accounts and just followed the fucking trail? That's something I'll never get to do, right? And I'll do it for free, Valve, if you give me access. And I'll tell you, every pro ever fucking threw a game for a skin.
Or try and get that guy to turn.
And I'll have it done in 6 months.
Get that guy to do the equivalent of turning states evidence and tell him, you know, even give him a fucking reward. If he has these connections, he could help you catch a load of people and clean the whole scene up. Of course, tragically, after he stopped being able to throw these games, he went into becoming an NFL ref, and he recently just refed the Saints versus Rams game.
Yeah.
You know, some would say he blew a call. I thought it was fair.
People do not know how wild this Stormberg motherfucker was. I got a dot.
Hang on.
I have to say, you know, in that sort of like, you know, El Chapo type.
Oh yeah. I mean, this guy just straight didn't give a fuck.
You had a little freeze there, by the way, if you wonder all the outside chat. Tomorrow, be fine.
Yeah, all right, no worries. You know, he straight didn't give a fuck. There were no rules as far as he was concerned. CS was just designed to make him money off skins. That was it. And and people saw how many accounts he had and how much money he was making, and he was a legend in Europe, you know. And people just fucking all went along with it. Now, like I say, another thing, like Valve must know how many accounts you have access to. You know?
Of course, especially because
So-
most people aren't even going to go on a VPN to log into the other one. They're just going to log into the other account, aren't they?
And you can see the names, it's not subtle. Stormberg 010 or 11. He just literally went through like that and just created hundreds of bot accounts. And it's like, dude, if you can follow the skins for iBuyPower, assuming that is indeed what they did to put the nail in the coffin, then you must
just
be
check
able
the
to do it.
skins from his account.
Yeah,
all the accounts they went
just
to, yeah.
follow it. And
Yeah.
then, obviously, the other point of the Unnecessary Risks blog, and then we'll move on to talking about another event, because I feel like this probably is retreading old ground, honestly, is they said, like, don't have ties to all these known bettors and these known...
Yes.
Man, fuck me. Do you know how many pros, like, especially when those CS fucking sites are out, like, fucking Wild and all this bullshit. Do you know how many high-level pros literally had guys on their Steam
Of
friends
course.
giving them skins for shout-outs, loaning them skins for streamed games with the
My
name
favorite example
on the
always
thing.
used to be that when, like, this, because we're talking now, remember, like 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
If you ever used to watch any of the CIS players, so Na'Vi were infamous for it, they would all have different sites that were sponsoring them. Like, you know, this guy's knife is called CS fucking loseallyourmoney.com. The other guys is like fucking bet and lose all your rigged money dot fucking RU
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, they'd have all that shit. All of them would. It was mental. You know, the reason
No.
why this is key, though, I want to just emphasize this for people
Yeah.
who haven't figured out why this context here. Whenever we talk about cheating, I've always made this point that every cheating case in the past, it has to be speculation. The best I can do is tell you he looked dodgy, because I can't go back now and catch him for cheating. I don't have the data
Yeah.
to extract that information from. The difference is we do, as Richard's saying here. Like, what's great now is it doesn't matter. I'll give you a random example. I'll pick a random pro off the top of my head. So I'll pick one that's very unlikely it is. Let's just say I'll pick fucking Azza from Renegades, right? Because he wasn't in Europe, so he didn't do any of the throws we're talking about now anyway. Imagine that you could find the skin going to his account 4 years ago, and you could ban him now, right? That sounds mad, but that is what our point is. Like, that some of the top pros will have been involved in these throws and will be able to prove it. So logically, why shouldn't they be banned? If I buy powers, they should be banned.
And not only that, you want to talk about unnecessary risks. What about owning a fucking gambling site if you're a player? Well, let me tell you.
Didn't my boy Zeus own one at one point in time?
No, he did. I'll tell you the fucking names.
Good
Again,
guy.
he's just brazen about it. In 2015, he had two: CS:GO Winner and CS:GO.net and .pro. He had two, and one was meant to be for the CIS region, and one was meant to be for the things. And they ran for like, you know, a few months, and then they closed down because he had a dispute with his coders. And it's like, you know, nothing gets done. If we accept the premise that skins gambling is wrong and gambling with kids is wrong, and if you're a known player and you're running a website, it's yours, the money comes to you, why are there no punitive measures for that guy? You're competing at Valve tournaments all the while this is going on. This isn't like a McSkillet motherfucker who's never going to play in a tournament, who isn't a pro player, who's just a fucking guy who's just trying to make as much money as he can, like them Call of Duty motherfuckers that robbed us all blind.
This is
an
now another
actual
guy who's going to
pro
win a
player.
major.
Yeah.
Also went and won a major, Valve major. Like, where's the community liaison guy looking into any of this shit? Come on.
They just don't care. They literally don't care. The Ty Lue stuff's all gone away. The Zeus stuff goes away. There is literally a way tomorrow you can catch everyone who ever threw a game. Like that. Click your fingers. If I had access to the records, it would just be like a fucking RICO case. Everybody would be fucked. But I can't get the records. Only Valve can. And I honestly, at this point, think it's not that I buy into the theory that, they don't because they make so much money and all that. I just think it's such a low priority. I just think it's such a low priority in terms of what they're doing with expanding Steam and other ways to make money. You know?
I even always thought as well, Richard, personally, like, I always thought people were too generous given the angle of like, well, they punished them so hard just to deter people. No, in my opinion, a part of why they punished them so hard was like, you fucks are going to make us have to look at this shit now. And because we're going to have to look at this and do this, we're going to fuck you up. And you know what? Everyone else, here's the message. Just don't make it so we have to look into this. Don't make it so there's evidence. If you throw the game, listen, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't run some small online cup. Throw it, but just don't be so stupid you make me have to do it. Because it's like your fucking parent. Like, if I have to come up there, maybe I've given away too much about my own past.
Yeah,
I lived in the 1980s in the northeast of England. What do you think we were doing? Getting fucking timeouts in the corner? No, I was asking for a fucking timeout, looking in the corner, throwing the towel. And I had fucking like Yamazaki or whatever, that ref is from the UFC, who doesn't even call the fight. When
just looking at
dead
you.
on the ground.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, man.
Defend yourself.
Defend yourself, Warren. Defend yourself.
Yeah, man. I was talking about this the other day with someone. Like, kids these days will never fucking know how lucky they are. When you used to have the choice between, yeah, right. Oh, with me, it was if you stood there and took the belt, you just got the leather end.
Right.
If you tried to dodge, you tried to dodge and run away, you got the buckle.
Yeah, people don't even know about that, Richard.
That's what I used to get.
It wasn't. Here's the thing: the beatings part isn't even my problem. It's the psychological mind games that are worse. Like, that's worse than the beating because it's like. Yeah. But if you have any survival instinct, that will punish you twice harder. Like, fucking hell, what am I supposed to do now? Like, your brain's just doing that like gif of like calculating all mathematical science. Like, what do I do?
No. Yeah, and the other thing as well was like, because obviously my dad was banged up, so sometimes like if my mother wanted to have any sort of life whatsoever, I'd have to stay with my uncles. I talked about this on stream before, but my uncle was one of them. He was in the military all his life, so when he got out, he was into like the whole idea of collective punishment.
Fucking
so
right.
Yeah, so like my cousin, so I'd be getting babysat, right? All he's got to do is just leave me alone, make sure I don't die until my mum gets home. That is your job, right? As a babysitter. And every time my cousins would be fucking around, I'd just get the call, Richard, come in here. And I'm like, oh, what's this about? Right, well, your cousin John's been a little bastard, so you're all getting a slipper. I'm like, what? I don't even live here. I don't even live here, motherfucker. This is an outrage.
Why is he gone full?
I want a lawyer.
He's literally gone full Metal Jacket approach. You're just like holding your cousin John down with his towel. You fucking cunt.
Just unreal. Yeah, my Uncle Paul dispensed some absolute hidings down the years. We all fucking got it. It's like, fuck have I done? And then
there we go. Valve is Uncle John.
No, Uncle Paul.
Oh,
cousin John.
Yeah, cousin John. There we go.
Yeah, I got two fucking cousins called, unbelievably, John and Wayne, because Uncle Paul was so military focused. He was like, right, nice manly. He grew up watching all John Wayne movies. Cousins called John and Wayne. Thick as shit, the pair of them. Right, anyway. Right, let's talk about the minor. My predictions were way off. I don't know how. I can't remember yours. How well did you do?
Which one are we talking about now?
Well, let's start with the NA minor. Let's go chronologically. So it was the NA minor first, was it?
America's minor, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. America's minor. You're absolutely right.
No, the first two I think were Europe and CIS, and then I think Americas and Asia came after. I believe. I'll double check that. Yeah, I think that was right. It was CIS and Europe first.
All right. Okay. Do you want to talk about the CIS minor at all?
Not really. I mean, I would just say like fucking Gambit didn't even make it to top 3 there.
Oh, actually, that is worth talking about. Because one of the points we did bring up on the show, that's a good point. I'm glad you remembered. Was that we did say if Gambit failed at the minor with the roster that they had.
Like, what is the point in this team now, basically?
It was an absolute disaster. So yeah, let's just talk about that. I mean, obviously they failed. They lost to, was it Windstrike? That beat them and put them out eventually?
Windstrike and Team Spirit were the teams that beat them in the playoff part.
Yeah, Team Spirit 2-0'd them, right? So, just fucking crazy shit. I mean, the roster that they have still is like...
Still got some good players.
Dude,
just joined.
They should be coming through this mine all day long. All day long. With the experience they have especially. And it was just embarrassing. And it's like, I just remember when Gambit put that statement out there, they were fucking closing down. It's like, please, like, just do it then. This is like, I'm like fucking Rorschach at the end of Watchmen. Just do it. It's fucking, there's only really May you would want to save at this point. And he'll be fine. He'll get on the team. You know, you bring Bondic in, it's all gone.
Yeah, that's the thing I wonder about the most with the Gambit lineup. Like, listen, it's obvious that like if this team actually does ever close, this is the end for Dosia. Like, no top teams picking him up. But you look at people like Moore, Bondic, May. These guys can all play in other teams. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously Blade as a coach would in theory be quite highly courted, I imagine. Like, what's even the point in staying together?
Right, but look, Dozier could just be the top streamer in Russia because for some reason that fucking X-God meme is just never gonna die. Like the sex
What he needs
God
to
meme.
do is just get in contact with us, and we, for a small fee, will be his writers, WWE style. We'll be like the fucking Vince Russo of what he has to say. Because obviously, no one wants to hear his real life and opinions. But if he could just craft it all into this ridiculous caricature type meme, then it'll be brilliant. So
No, but
we'll just
like
tell
he'll
him.
stay on as a streamer advertising Gambit if they stay around, or he just goes to another Russian org and becomes a streamer over there, and it's just free advertising. He'd be one of the most watched. Like, I'll be
Thing
honest,
is, though, I
I'd
already
probably
know-
tune in even if he didn't
Oh, of
speak a word of
course.
English.
I already know the content he needs to do to be a winner. Some of it isn't even new content, Rich. I'm going to take some of his content from the old days of esports. So remember famously in League of Legends when anything went when you were a streamer, and St. Vicious famously did that tier list of girls in the scene where he just reviewed all the
Christ,
e-girls.
yeah, what a shit-
right?
what a shit
You're
show.
telling me that if Dossier goes, here are my top 10 female CSGO pro by looks, you're telling me you press X on that little box in the corner of the fucking browser. I don't think you do, son. I think you're locked onto that fucking screen
Oh.
as though it was like the D-Day clock or something like, holy shit! It's like,
I mean, obviously, publicly, I would decry it and say,
no,
how
I
terrible it
would
was.
say
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
disgraceful.
I mean, like, yeah, disgraceful behavior from
misogyny,
Dozier.
borderline
But then I would probably at least try and say, look
I'd
at
have to
him,
watch
he's
it just to
simple and
understand that subculture and what's happened to masculinity
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
And if I
exactly,
laughed,
exactly.
that would just be because I was being like Stockholm syndrome. I was getting into it
Yeah,
somehow, you know,
exactly.
gaslit. So
But yeah, I'd straight fucking, I'd straight love to see that. But I mean, like, seriously, it's got to be the end of the road. Like, it's got to be. Like, stop now. Like, just stop. Like, the CIS, like, no disrespect to any of the teams here. This was, for me, the weakest minor.
oh, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, you didn't even get top 3. They didn't even get to go into the fucking playoffs, the last chance. So, yeah, just nightmare scenario for them. Just in terms of who won the CIS, you had a Vanguard won it outright. Played pretty well. I've been saying for a while that Jane motherfucker's pretty good, but like, everybody put in, like, what was surprising was Fitch, who we'd written off, was actually doing work. Buster, they were looking like a tidy team, but obviously still not great within the context of the teams who qualified for Katowice. Team Spirit as well came through. I was very surprised about that they were doing so well because they don't really have a lot of players that I rate. And
Still
then
got
obviously-
most of the old players they've had for years, so fair play to them
Yeah.
that they managed to come through and get a pretty big result for them.
Yeah, and no surprise as well, just to get a little dig in. That fucking runtime GG team with
I know,
Z's
man
and
alive.
Hooch and Starix. Dead last. Garbage, of course. Not a surprise. Right, so let's talk about the European minor. Now, there were some things that we did get right. I did get right. I think, I think the ones I wanted to come through were... I think I'd said it was going to be Mouse Sports, Ensa, and then Vitality in third. What we got was Ensa topped it, Vitality in second, and North were in third. But I did also say that Optic were going to finish ahead of North, and they were fucking diabolical. Like, while we're talking about teams that need to pull the plug after the minor performance,
Yeah.
Optic have got to be top of that chopping block.
There's literally, like, here's the thing. Normally, Rich, I would say, like I do with all roster moves, well, they've just signed a player because they've added that refresh guy, given time. It's like that. The problem with that move is the last 2 player moves in Optic have been Gage for Nico and Nico for refresh. These are all like the same type of player. Like, it's not enough. You haven't changed anything fundamentally about the team. And the team, quite frankly, plays almost the same with all these players. So, like, at this point in time, I agree with you. If you look how long this project's been going, off the top of my head, I think they made this move to make like the core of this lineup with like the Shazam and fucking Stanislaw kick. I think that was back in like something like April of last year. So we're talking about a team that might have been together with its core for like 9 months now. And what have they accomplished in that time? Fuck all at majors. Nothing really. Like, their best result, I think, in that entire time was coming fucking second at CS Summer. I think that's it. I think that's literally their best result. Like, it's just been a sea of nothingness, and even worse, consistently nothingness. Like, occasional okay results. That's like their best ceiling hitting as it were.
If you look at the teams they've beat since the start of December to now, it's AGO, Virtus Pro, Mixtura, and Heroic. That's the caliber of team that they are laboring to beat.
And by the way, for anyone wondering, the amount of resources this team must have had put into it must also be ridiculously disproportionate to these results.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine the salaries of people like Config are very nice. The fucking like facilities you're playing are probably baller. Your flights everywhere. Like, what's mad is you're barely beating people that have way worse circumstances than you, and you already were supposed to be.
Well, meanwhile, the teams they've lost to in the same time period: Bravado, Ensa, Spirit, Vitality, and Mouse Sports. So I don't know where Optic are in the rankings off the back of this data set, and I know they've just picked up Refresh, and I feel really fucking sorry for him. But I tell you, if I'd been able to get, if he'd messaged me, I've had an offer to join Optic. No, son, no.
It's like I said, unless
because he turned down Cloud9, it came out.
Exactly. Unless you know Carrigan is coming to be the new in-game leader of this team, it's just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, changing Refresh out. Like, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, great player with a bright career ahead of him. But like the idea that, it's all on him to fix this team. It starts with the in-game leader. Snappy's been fucking found out. He's not a top IGL. I think we can all say now. I mean, again, I called this back when I was on back when he was on Heroic. We were watching Heroic at E-League. I said, and he specifically said this. He's like, "Oh, my leadership style is I have confidence in my players around me, and I'll say to them like, oh, you go here and do this as part of a tactic." And then obviously, if they go there and do that, brilliant, the tactic works. What happens when they don't? Well, what happens when they don't is Optic. Because, your entire leadership style isn't about you empower your players. It's about your players need to empower the team. That's a fucking shit, man. Anybody could do that. Anybody could call those strats. Anybody could say, hey, Yugi, been deathmatching today. Brilliant. Go out, go main and get a pick, yeah, on the other AWPer. Oh, you've done it. Brilliant. Right, well, we'll all just rush here, I guess. It's like, fuck me. It's like, it's the most basic load of bullshit I've ever heard. And the thing is, as well, people can go, oh, Richard, you're really oversimplifying it. Go watch the games, man. He's been fucking found out. He's not a tactical fucking mastermind. All that was happening was when he was on Heroic, all of the players below him were just in the form of their careers. Now that they're not, he's on a better team with better players. He can't get mileage out of players like fucking Cajun B and Config. He can't get them to beat Team Spirit, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that I have to say, like the two players that if this ends up being the high watermark of Snappy's career, it's like the only time someone gives him like control of a big team with some proper resources. Right? Remember, it's not like he's in Heroic still and someone said, oh, you've got these unproven players. Can you do anything with them? They basically gave him Config, who at the time was like a top 3 player in Denmark. And they were like, there you go. There's one of the best players in theory in the world. Go ham with it. And Config has shown fucking, I won't say a career worst form, because obviously he used to be a nobody when he joined Dignitas, but like he's way worse than North Config was. Yeah. Like that's one of the problems I have. Yugi and Config are the two players that make this Snappy era of Optic look fucking bad, because it's like these were supposed to be the pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
you're supposed to be able to take these and parlay them into being a really top team.
Like, there's a lot going on over at Optic right now. I read some report, apparently, that maybe they're getting sold again and Infinite after realizing they've shit the fucking bed, looking to offload at a profit, no doubt. Although, with everything that they spent and everything they fucked up, they might break even, who knows. But, hopefully Hex is still involved, or he brings in somebody competent at that point to run a CS team or just run their teams in general, so they don't pick up fucking Indian cheaters again. But at the end of the day, like, pull the fucking plug on this. Because when you took that first risk with Conquest and entered the scene, you got more mileage out of those NA journeymen than you've got out of these supposed Danish stars. Fuck it. Tap out. And while we're talking about tapping out, fucking Mouse Sports, homie.
Mad, isn't it?
How are they number 5 in the HLTV ranking? Can't get through a minor.
I have to say something, Rich.
Yeah,
this is an example. I normally use Fallen as my example for this because I always say the proportion of how people criticize players, again, is just based on if they like them. So I remember when FaZe was coming second in every tournament and I was being told Carrigan is an abject loser who just can't get over the hump. It isn't a winner deep down. Then I just saw Fallen coming like 9th place in tournaments, losing to nobodies, and everyone was just cool with it. It wasn't his fault. How come the same double standard gets applied to Chris J? Anyone who wants to go balls deep on existence for not doing anything with that lineup, well, tell me how you simultaneously think Rops is great and fucking Sonny's a god, and you're all cool with Chris J just bombing out majors, minors, coming last place. Like, I don't dislike the guy, but for me, if you're an in-game leader, for good or for ill, you get judged on the results. And if you maybe had some external circumstances, I'm sorry. In the same way I'd give you credit, I might not know you didn't do anything in that scenario. I have to give you the blame when they do badly, you know?
I mean, look, listen, I'll give some love to Valiance, who effectively knocked them out, took 3 maps off them, beat them in a best of one, and beat them in a series 2-0.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about Valiance in a
I
sec.
didn't expect them to be...
But anybody putting the fucking hate on Chris J, when they lost that 16-14 game to Valiance, Chris had 32 fucking kills. Oscar was the next with 20. I'll tell you why mouse sports are falling off a cliff. It's got nothing to do with Steeko coming back, which some people are trying to intimate that it is. Right, first of all, and this isn't even a secret, and I think mouse sports said it themselves, but they didn't practice ahead of the minor, which...
By the way, I find it baffling that not only would you do it, you even admit it. Because here's the thing, this might sound like a weird distinction to make. Why would that be the big deal? Because to even admit that implies you think it's fine.
Yeah.
And you're willing, and in fact, you want to tell people so they don't judge you on this result. Well, what the fuck are you doing with your career? Making the major was a massive part of being in your team.
Yeah.
So the idea you didn't practice, well, then you're just a cretin. You've just admitted you were an idiot.
I mean, I can't remember which player said it. So whoever they interviewed,
I remember seeing someone say,
yeah, I think it might have been Oscar. I'm not too sure, but yeah, whoever did the HLTV interview, and they went, we just haven't practiced, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if you understand what the fucking minor is. It's not just a tournament in its own right with like, oh, we only get $50,000 if we win. It is the path to the major. If you are not going to practice for that, then what are you doing on a top team? I will introduce you to many smaller organizations that'll have you around where they won't have that level of ambition or aspiration. You won't get paid as much. But, you know, if that's where your head's at. So to not practice is ridiculous. And also as well, no getting away that the fact that on a psychological level, it's very disparaging about teams like Valiant, who they ended up losing to. That they took one look at this field and thought, we'll just fucking steamroll it with no practice. Which I'm sorry. Like, first of all, mouse sports haven't been that good for a while. And then second of all, there's some teams here who are notorious for upsetting people who don't come in prepped. So that was a bad fucking call. But that isn't even the problem. I mean, first of all, Sonny, his form has dipped. There's no.
He's an example, you know, of this type of player where it's like you've always got to be very careful when you jump on a bandwagon with a player, like how hard you go. Like if what happens is you see a player, like a great example would be like Ziwu, right? If you see him and you're going, oh, the promise is great, and I can't wait to see what he does, that's fine. You're totally on board. I'd even agree with you. The promise is amazing. But if you're the guy who's like trying to sort of be a hipster and act like you've already seen the next 6 months of his career and be like, he's fucking one of the best, top 5 player in the world, it's like you've gone too far. People did that with Sonny last year. There's 2 players who I thought got the most overrated, and those are Sonny and those are Twists. And the whole reason why, Rich, is because the time when they had their peak was like the autumn of the year, the end of the summer going into the autumn. So it was right around major season. We'd come back from the break. We've got all these big high-profile tournaments. So they went nuts, right? And people did that thing where when you remember only the 2 or 3 months where they were godlike, they seemed like, well, fucking hell, they should be like top 10 players in the whole world, right? But you look at their whole year, and like Twist's earlier part of the year was way, way worse. He wasn't even close to that level. And Sonny at the end of last year went to fucking shit. He dropped off a cliff massively. Yeah. And the problem is the same people who ride the bandwagon just stay quiet when the player goes to shit. They never say anything about that. Like, I at least take my lumps, you know. Fucking existence shit's about. I don't pretend like, what do you mean? I didn't say anything. It's like, no, you have to go both sides of it. So I will say, like, for a team that I always thought got by on firepower, you can't have one of your best players just fucking doing absolute shit like this for 3 months.
Well, this is the problem. It's two. Because we've talked about it before. No one wants to fucking really talk about the elephant in the room. And that is Rops has gone to shit.
Of course.
Right, you have to go back and look at when Mouse Sports were that number 2 team in the world, when they were beating Fizz, when they never quite got to number 1. Where, if you remember, I can't remember what event it was. It was an ESL event. No, it was a DreamHack. And if they'd gone there and won that and it was a diminished field, it would have given them enough ranking points for them to hit number 1, and they didn't. And they've been slowly on a decline ever since then. And then they picked up Snacks, and that continued it and everything else. The reality is, in that time frame when they've been declining, it's Rops who's been poor. And when they were amazing, Rops was godlike and the star player and was absolutely carrying games single-handedly and dropping 25 frags every game guaranteed. And you can go back and look at those games. He was unstoppable. I don't know what's happened to him. He hasn't been that player for a long time. I don't know if it's burnout. I don't know if he's got personal problems. I don't know if he's got something else going on in his life. Could be anything. Could be a fucking part-time job. Could be college. Could be a girlfriend. But it's something. This kid is fucking, his head's not where it should be, and his talent isn't where it should be. What's worrying is, I've seen young players do this before. Historically in CS, they have that breakout season, they have 1 or 2 years where they're untouchable, they lose that mojo and they never get it back. And that's got to be the big worry, because when you say, like, how do we fix Mouse Sports? Well, we saw Chris J like a tweet saying, somebody, I think it was HLTV, one of the reporters had said, I don't know if we see this Mouse Sports line up together after a result like this at the minor, and Chris J liked it, and people put it on Reddit and said, oh, is there going to be a roster change? Here's the problem. Theoretically, Rops could be one of the best players in the world again tomorrow. Theoretically, Sonny could get his old form back, get his mojo back, win you every fucking pistol round, give him a deagle in you know, 4 spies, and he'll carry you through a game like he was doing, 6-8 months ago. The problem is, if you drop them, you never have that. It's 100% gone, that likelihood. And the idea, if Mouse Sports were like, yes, to improve our team, we've dropped Rops, there'd be a lot of people out there who aren't looking at the numbers or watching the games closely, who'd be scratching their head. But right now, Steeko isn't the problem. Chris J isn't the problem. Oscar, he's hit or miss, but he's still one of the best AWPers in the world. You've got to start pointing the finger at Rops and Sonny, as uncomfortable as that will make Mouse Sports fans to do.
I agree with you, by the way, as well. Like, the most dangerous player to bank on is always the guy who's had the great start, but you haven't seen what the next part's like. Like, what's Act 2 of the career? I mean, a great example. Here's one for you, everyone. How about fucking Kirby? Go watch Kirby in Astralis and tell me you would ever believe he'd be the player he is in North now, where, like, he's, at best scatter shot, occasional decent performance, never a star player. Even at a tier 2 level, he's not carrying, he's not winning MVPs. Like, this would have been unthinkable if you go back to when he was at the end of Dignitas and then when he was in Astralis. This guy looked like he had it locked. He was going to be the next top player.
I just also realised, because of TikTok, the fucking phrase hit or miss can never be used ever again, can it?
Okay.
Yes, it never miss.
I know, does my head in. Anyway, let's talk about Vitality. Runners up. They for me, there was a lot of people really bigging up ZywOo off the back of this. I even tweeted something positive out myself. Mine was goading all the incels over at Vac Sucks.
He's mad bait for them. Like, he's exactly one of those players where when they come along, I actually sort of love players where, like, their skill is like, it looks super dodgy in every kill, because then you just know those guys are going to just be tortured. It's like I told you that it's no joke. Simple last year ruined that sub for everyone, because logically he has to be cheating on every single kill by what they apply the logic of. Yeah. So he's not only the best player ever, he's the most blatant shooter in the history of any game ever.
Yeah,
because he used an aimbot for every single kill.
Yeah, so people were fucking, like, ever since that clip on Device's stream, Vac Sucks have been watching him, and of course he goes to every fucking event, and he's Vitality's best player. But let's just temper that realistically, just a little bit. That's all I want, just a little bit. Like, he's good, but go look at the teams he's putting in these mad performances against. They are not top tier teams that he's shitting on. In fact, again, let's do the sweep over the course of the year to date. You go through January. Yeah, he's top fragging against Valiants. Yeah, Esperanto already starting to lose a bit of his mojo, innit? Almost as if being a fucking hyper-aggressive, fucking narcissistic cunt isn't good for a fucking pro sports career. he's saying, "Oh, Ziwoo's too good. If anyone ever buys Ziwoo from Vitality, it'll be the biggest buyout in CS:GO history. Oh, it's gonna go past 500,000, is it? Don't think so. For a French kid who I don't even know what his English is like, and hasn't played top opposition. If he shits on everyone at the major, now we got a story. Now we got something to talk about. Unfortunately, looking at the teams he's shitting on Optic, he's shitting on Valiant, he's shitting on North.
I'll
He's
tell you the
shitting on
problem
AGO.
here is you've correctly labelled it as well, is that the other problem is it's not just fans. Like, I understand why if you're a French fan, you desperately want to believe that this guy's the next thing and he's going to be a god. Obviously, because your scene's in disarray. I get why that would be like a drive and impetus you'd have. But part of the hype for Ziwoo comes from other pro players, people who played FPL against him, people who played him in scrims. Now, what those players do not understand is that what they're saying is, first of all, not falsifiable. We have no way to corroborate what they're saying. And secondly, it's also not falsifiable in as much as, right, what happens if they're wrong? Nothing. They just never mention it again. They go on with their lives. If you guys only knew how many cunts behind the scenes rave about some players, this guy's going to be a fucking god. And then they end up being wrong. And then there's the other way around. Like, I've told this story before. I knew many of the players who were in the first pro teams that Automatic was in. And I asked a number of them in depth about their teammates. Not a single one ever said that Automatic would be a good player. None of them. A lot of them told me that he's just average. He's a bit, he's all right. He's not that great though. He hasn't got the mind for it. Like, everything that went against the idea he'd ever be a good player. Meanwhile, there's been a Brazilian players who were in online scrims, were mad at fraggers. They were youngsters. They were tearing it up. Everyone thought this guy's the next hot take, and he just never made it. So I agree with you, by the way. Again, as usual, you get fucking straw man. So the straw man now is that I think Ziwoo's shit. No, he looks like probably the hottest young French fucking promising talent we have ever seen in CSGO. It's not an exaggeration. The last one basically on this level was Kenny S. That's it. And even then he had some sauce under his belt. The problem is you cannot ignore the fact he has played 2 LANs and they weren't big LANs. Like, it's not my fault he hasn't played Team Liquid, but he hasn't. So you absolutely cannot say, well, because he was so fucking sick against, like, I don't even know who you're going to pick for this one, fucking Ents or something. Oh, in that case, he would definitely be as good against Team Liquid. Like, think about what you're saying. You'd sound like an idiot if it was someone from another region. Imagine some guy came out of the Chinese region bigging up a player like that. You'd think he was a cretin, wouldn't you? You'd say, I'll wait and see on this one.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I think, look, the
other thing to say as well is, the other reason why I get why he's overrated is because the eye test especially is killer.
Oh,
There's a lot of players haven't had the eye test that was as good.
All his frags are insane.
I'm with you on that one. If I only looked at the video and he took the input, I might think it was some Oscar but then again, some sick player.
But if I showed you a fucking frag movie of some random shitter in matchmaking, I could convince you he's the best player. If I only showed you his best moments. Yep. So, it's... Look, at the end of the day, the proof is going to be at the major. The one thing I'll also just add to everything is, fucking hell, Vitality, they must fucking wrap this cunt in bubble wrap at the end of every game. Like, come here, Ziwoo, please. What's that? You're going to eat something. You have MBK doing a fucking poison test before every fucking meal. Like, we'll wait an hour now, see if I get sick.
I'll actually, for that reason, I will actually give Ziwoo a bit extra credit over what I would normally give, which is this. Normally, I would assume someone like him would benefit from playing with all these veterans. At the moment, he's fucking carrying these guys. Like, I'll give him credit. He's in a scenario where the name value on paper belies how bad the fucking team he plays for is. Like, I actually will give him credit for that. He's coming in out the gate doing like a fucking simple. So fair play on that one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, I don't think Vitality will do much at the major, honestly, because I don't think they have that strength in depth. But who knows? If Ziwoo can find that next level and do it against top-tier opposition, he's dragging these cunts through games right now. I mean, they've all got to look at themselves and be like, look, it's all fine and dandy and it's all jokes when you're on social media saying, oh, isn't Ziwoo great and all that. It's like, some of you are some of the most experienced players in your scene and some fucking kid is literally pulling you through games against shit-tier teams. Like, you need to have a word with yourselves. It's not just enough to rely on him. Well, you'll be like Mouse Sports without the success. What happens when, if Ziwoo has an off day? So, right, we'll talk about the NA Major. I'm conscious for time because we've got a hard out breaking the esports rule.
I got to serve drinks in here. Get the fuck out.
Let's talk about like
Bonnie has brought a gun in. You all have to go to prison. Oh, bloody Uncle Paul's taking over.
Richard, get
But I was trying to stop him bringing the gun in. Get the
You
belt.
know what? Turns out I just needed Uncle Paul to actually adjudicate the iBuyPower case. Skadoodle would be banged up right now. He'd be done, wouldn't he? No NA major.
Listen, whatever you think about that case, I wouldn't wish me Uncle Paul on anyone. He was. You don't understand. He was a straight savage. Like, think he was working out his fucking PTSD on my fucking rosy red cheeks. Hang on, that sounds way worse. I mean, with the belt, with the belt, with the belt. What times have that?
Fucking go to town on my ass.
You almost had no edit BTN.
Yeah, definitely didn't have sexual intercourse with me. Want to stress that. shout out to Uncle Paul. Anyway, whatever. Fuck it. You leave that in. Right. Anyway, so let's talk about the NA minor. Now, my predictions.
You know what I love, by the way? I've just noticed
Yeah,
this as
go
well.
on.
Because you know when you made that thing that you told everyone to spam in the chat, like the timestamp thing. No one else will notice this, but when you see it, because the writing's so small, it does remind me of like the Middlesbrough Football Club logo. It does look.
Yeah,
like
no, it has got a little bit of Airsom Park love in there, hasn't it?
Come on, Borough. Come on, Borough. You remember that shit chant they all did? Come on, Borough.
Do you want to know what?
It's not even like go Middlesbrough, you'll win. It's like come on, Borough.
Right, the local, like Teesside FM or whatever it was, the local radio station that used to put the Middlesbrough games on the radio. I don't know if you know this, but what they did was they used to have fake chants for sponsors.
Like fucking FIFA games or something.
Yeah, no. So it was was it Qualcast or Comcast?
Daz.
It was something like that. It might have been Comcast. I don't know if Comcast sponsors anything in the UK or ever sponsor Middlesbrough, but it was like Qualcast or Comcast or something, and it would go like nah, Comcast, like at the end, right? And they would just have it in the background on the radio. I swear this is true. They would just have it on the background in the radio, right? And I remember my mate Ian took his fucking mum to the football, and she was like, listening to the game and all that. And she was coming out and she went, "Hey, I was a bit surprised they didn't sing the Comcast song today." Like, you fucking Doyle, what's wrong with you, man? It's obviously fake. No one chants that shit.
Washing
idiot.
machines live longer with cow good.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they honestly thought that was going on. But anyway, fucking hell, what a nightmare. Right, Borough, shit team. Smoggies, fuck them. Right, so here were the predictions for NA. I said that United would get through. I said Bravado would sneak in third. Yeah, and I said the Brazilian teams here were pretty bad. And they would struggle. So I think, but I also did say Envy was dog shit and would finish last. So not a great day at the office for my picks. But let's start by just talking about United. Fuck this. I saw FNS put a tweet out immediately. He was like, yeah, I know, mate. Like, when you fucking realise, right, what happened in his last gig, he was in Cloud9 and he said, I didn't get enough time to mould this team and, it was a bit unfair. I was just kicked out after like a month. He comes into a United, spends like a fucking month there, and then he's like, listen, this is shit, and I'm out.
By the way, that's one thing that people always do. When people make that joke, which I agree, by the way, it's a great meme, where they took that whole angle of, because of the KNG and FNS thing, they make him like the mastermind of the NA scene, and every move, it's like the 6 separations of Kevin Bacon, as long as he can find a connection to FNS, then he masterminded. You know what everyone forgets, of course? Is that he was the one who mastermind. He was the one who was on the other team in the iBuyPower Throw because he was on Netcode Guides, which was that team. And obviously, in the end, that allowed Skadoodle to eventually win a major for NA. So you can thank FNS for that.
Yeah, well, it's always FNS. He's at the heart.
He actually, you don't know it, but he actually came along dressed like fucking Donald Sutherland from JFK, and he just told Skadoodle, "I'd leave those skins behind. You know where to look." They just ran off, and then bizarrely, Skadoodle got away with it. So. We would have got away with it if it wasn't for that.
I don't mind them losing
in a fucking trilby.
I don't mind that United lost to Furious so much, but the fact that they lost to Team 1 is an abomination. It's an abomination. There's no justifying it. That Team 1 side is so fucking bad. Bit just limping along. Like, what's going on? Speak up, Sonny. Maluk, that player that they were trying to convince everyone was worth 6 figures. This is a terrible fucking team, Team 1, right? They got smashed by Envy, for fuck's sake. And E United couldn't hang with them. They had that. Well, sure, they had a 16-14, and then they got 16-4 on Inferno. Ridiculous. So yeah, just terrible performance by them, and I don't know. That also feels like a lineup that's slowly been going backwards. They played their way into contention, and then every roster change, it's like they replace a part with a worse part. And now FNS has just took one look at the 4 players he's got to work with there, and I think Dazzle and Moose still have some potential. By the way, but he's just took one look at that team and gone, "Fuck it, I'm done. And this isn't for me." Which does make me wonder what he's going to do next. Honestly. I think the crazy thing is, even though he's been on Cloud9, that lasted a month. He's been on E United, that lasted less than a month. They crap out with the minor. I still think FNS will get another chance on a decent level team, you know. And I don't think that would apply to a lot of people. I think it speaks to that lack of in-game leaders and NA problem. But crazy stuff. All right, let's talk about Bravado. Looks like there's a lot of problems there. I saw they had that issue where they were trying to get funding, that Project Destiny thing. I understand you did something for that. You released like an interview early, right?
Yeah.
And now they're refunding everybody. Looks like they're getting dropped by the org, and who knows what will happen. And it's a shame because
didn't it already say they're signing with Denial or something?
Yeah, they're heading over to Denial, which I don't know why the Project Destiny thing would necessarily be contradictory to that. And obviously they didn't make it out with the minor A. They had a few close games. They were probably a bit unlucky in the Ints game, honestly. Like, Ints played out with their fucking skins. It was ridiculous.
Basically, KNG carrying them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, KNG was fucking really good. But yeah, it was just like, I don't know, kind of felt they were a little bit underwhelming. I think they could have done a bit more. Like, I didn't have them pegged to beat an NRG, but I felt like they could have beat on their day if everything had clicked, if all the stars aligned. They could have beat any other team here, realistically. But that's all there is to really say about that. Then let's talk about Envy. I mean, if Carrigan's not the fucking most valuable free agent at the moment, then I don't know who is. Because the fact that he managed to get them into the last chance.
This just shows you how
with this lineup,
you can take a very different perspective on the same information, because Lopez and a bunch of other people took this result and were like, see, Carrigan's just shit. Look at his frags. He's got none. He's obviously done nothing with the team. And so he's garbage. Whereas I agree with you, Rich. I look at this Envy team and go, without Carrigan, they're not even get out of this group. So, you know, like there would be no chance at the major. Carrigan at least gave them a chance at the major, as far as I can tell.
One player who definitely deserves a special mention under this Envy with the Carrigan system in place is JDM.
Of course. I told you that this guy was not done entirely, you know. Like, I agree he's a very flawed player. Like, I wouldn't want him as my main best player in the team, but he played fucking decent at this moment.
No, but what's interesting in this run that they had was, like, he was rifling. Like, and it was decent. You know, he like, I'm not, like, obviously he was open primarily when it was available, but he would pick up a rifle and he was getting kills, like quite a lot of kills. He clutched a ton of rounds with a rifle in his hand. I mean, this is fucking, this isn't, you know, the JDM of old. And sure, people are like in the chat going. Because for people who
don't know, by the way, famously, like, I remember this is a couple of years ago, I found this stat out. There was a time when there was a stat that JDM had more kills with like a 5.7 or something than he did with like an M4. Rifle. Yeah. So the idea was he literally was the most extreme caricature of like if I have the AWP, dangerous. If I don't, well, you've just neutralized me completely. Like, it wasn't like where every other AWPer, even Skadoodle had like a half decent rifle, you know, he didn't have a problem with it. Like, he was the most ridiculous caricature of that, though, where it was like the guy just can't rifle. So this shows, in theory, great evolution. Like, maybe he's been putting in the hours.
Yeah, and Sarah Sean in the chat says the rifles have scopes now. That's what done it. I mean, I'm talking about the traditional rifle. Yeah, pretty good joke. That's why I'm giving you the shout out. But I mean, like, he wasn't just using, like, you know, AUGs or whatever. He was doing it with the M4. He was doing it with the AK as well, and he just looked like a complete player. In fact, I think if we go on statistics at the event, I want to say he was one of the top fucking players. I mean, I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously outside of NRG and the Brazilians, yeah, JDM's like what, the 8th best player. So he had a great event. It was the best event he'd had in a while. Still not convinced by this Envy lineup. Obviously, I'm hoping now that The dream
It's not a
sort
good
of
team.
died. No, I mean even Cutler was playing pretty decent.
He had some alright games.
Yeah, and you know me, I love to bang on Cutler. I thought he should have retired, but actually he did show something at this event. The real problem was Nifty was all over the place. He was good one game, dog shit the next, drone. Don't see what the fucking...
He's just a waste of time, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't see what the fuss is about. He's just a fucking... He's like a warm prop, that cunt. You know, he's not going anywhere.
Like, I will say part of the problem with the team, if we're just ignoring the context of why they're all there, is obviously that you wouldn't want like a low fragging in-game lead like Carrigan if you're in a team that's not going to get much firepower. Sure, I agree, but he didn't have a choice in that matter. He didn't have a choice as to who comes and plays with him. So if it's in one LAN you ever play with a team, I wouldn't assume a player like Carrigan's going to do well frag-wise, you know. For me, it's the team result that I'm going to count for that. And I thought he did all right. I won't say it was great. Did all right.
Yeah. But anyway, like, and just in regards to Drone, if you think, well, that's a bit harsh, he's a young blah, blah. He was billed as being, like, the second top fragger. Like, you know, he was meant to be the guy who was, like, dropping bodies. Like, just garbage. Didn't see anything there at all to sort of justify that reputation. And you know, maybe Carrigan wasn't doing something with him. Maybe I could give him the benefit of the doubt if he'd done anything before this. But again, like, if you're meant to be a prospect and you can't bang people out at the fucking minor, then fuck it. You know, you've got Mountain Dew League. Enjoy it. Here's the other story. So there was a little bit of drama coming out of the NA minor, and then we'll probably have to end the podcast here, honestly. We'll do the last chance and E-League. Well, maybe we do another catch-up later in the week or something, because we did skip out a week previous.
I mean, there's not what's happening until the majors, so we can always cover the rest of the shit.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But there was a little bit of drama because obviously, did you see the Furia game against? Hang on, was it? Yeah, it must have been against Envy, right? Let me get the result.
What are we referring to here?
Well, loads of people got fucking humpty about the fact that they basically were like teabagging their opponents and stuff.
Wait a minute, that's the drama. So that's still a thing, man.
I know, mental in it, right?
It's like every time people bring something like that up, I realise I'm coming from a background of being like a hardcore gamer back in the day where it was only like fucking 200 people or something. But come on, man, does that really just offend your fucking delicate sensibility that a virtual character? I mean, I always say this. You virtually killed the motherfucker. Now you're virtually putting your nuts near his virtual face. Which part's the part that's really offensive to you, you daft fucking cunt? You're like the morons who were fine with the movie having Arnold just blowing motherfuckers up, but then it's like, again, I'm going to date myself now, it's like 10 p.m. in like fucking 1989, so he has to go like, hey, motherfrackers, as he's killing them all. It's like, why is fuck the offensive part of this premise?
No, I tell you, I remember when...
Oh, my favourite, I'll tell you the best one ever, Rich.
Yeah, go on.
The best one ever was when they took the movie Top Gun, and you know there's that scene early on when that guy who's like on the aircraft carrier's like, listen, you assholes, like I'll have you fly in a transport plane full of dog shit out of Saigon or something.
Yeah.
And all they do is just take that and edit it to be like rubber dog poop or something. Some like outrageously ridiculous. No, but like
the one thing I will say is whoever was doing the dubbing of those 80s movies when they were on TV was having some mad banter. They must have been.
They were trying to be assholes, weren't they?
I remember when so the ones that always stood out to me, there's RoboCop when that was on TV. You know that scene where the guy's got the gun and RoboCop walks in and he's like, you know, come along with me or there'll be trouble. And he goes, fuck me. And he's just fucking...
So you can say that.
Yeah, over and over again, fuck me. He says it about 20 times. They dubbed that to, why me? Why me? Well, he's
funny, to be honest.
No, it was hilarious. Then I remember there was a Lethal Weapon one where Mel Gibson says, like, you know, oh, we're going to go get these motherfuckers. Then like he's like Riggs, you know, Murtaugh's over here. Riggs. And he's going, I'm gonna go get the motherfuckers. Well, they on 2 occasions they dubbed motherfucker, but they didn't even change it to the same one. So first of all, money funster. What the fuck is a money funster? No shit. They stay with me all the time because I've been trying to process all these like
that
20 years.
Like,
what is a money funster?
Yeah, that sounds like some sort of Bitcoin type code, some blockchain.
No, man. Like literally, he just goes, "We're gonna go get these money funsters." Like I just picture millionaires like just rolling in it like Scrooge McDuck. And then the other one was Melon Farmer. You get down, Melon Farmer.
Good in a way, though. It's like I'm farming melons.
What are you killing melon farmers for?
Can I just plant these seeds in his fucking cerebellum?
Yeah, right. So there was that, and then they got, it wasn't even what they said that was funny about Die Hard, it was the voice they got to do it. They dubbed Die Hard and they dubbed all the fucks out of it and all the motherfucks out of it, which is ridiculous because one of the catchphrases is yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. And they got the guy who did the voice of Garfield, the cartoon Garfield, to do it, right? So there's the famous bit, isn't it, where he goes, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, John McClane, right? And it's the voice of Garfield goes, yippee-ki-yay, Kimo-sabi. It was like, fucking, I'm tapping out here. This is shite. So they were balling out of control in the fucking 80s with all of that shit. Anyway, people got fucking triggered over Furia because they absolutely shit-stomped Envy in that first map. It's like, too. They went going for chance knives. Shout out to Fodder. They were fucking teabagging them, shooting the bodies.
Good.
Like, listen, yeah. If you find this toxic, you're the exact kind of little bitch that'll never make it in anything competitive. Because you do that to get your opponents triggered, to get them on edge. And let me tell you, one person who would absolutely not have criticized Furia for doing this, a guy called Carrigan, who you might have remembered, took a very famous timeout just to get inside his opponent's heads. Right? Like this is the psychological component to the game is a component to the game.
When Carrigan was a player in 1.6, and even though he's Danish, famously at the end of 1.6, he played for a little bit of time with Mouse Sports, right? He joined God B's team. And this is a real story because I remember at the time just literally. I'm not. You know when people tell a story and they were like, so I was just saying like, who the fuck's this guy? It's like in real life you didn't say that. You just thought that, right? You sort of like illustrating what you thought. I literally said this in real life. So when we went to one of these IEM events in 1.6, it was the one in Kiev that was at the European finals. Carrigan turns up and every round he wins, he pulls out one of those old-fashioned football rattles that have been outlawed in British football for about 20 or 30 years. You know the one where it's like a rectangle and it spins around like goes around like that. He pulled one of those out, and every time he went around, he would do that sound. And by the way, your opponents are only on the other side of like a piece of cardboard. You know, everyone in the whole venue can hear it. And I even literally said to an admin, like, "Are you going to stop him doing that?" And they were like, "It's in the rule. There's nothing in the rules." But I was like, "He's fucking making a so he could pull out a firework and start firing that off." I was losing my shit. I was only a journalist as well. I wasn't even in the game. I was like, I was so tilted he was doing this. So the idea that guy, like, I don't think he minds you shooting his virtual body inside the game.
No, it's dumb. And then, of course, Furia immediately fucking followed it up, of course, which is the only thing I would, like, poke a little bit of fun at. They all immediately burst into tears. And it's like, the badass...
I've gotten in trouble for this in the past, Richard. You know, people don't like when I say it. And my point was never that you can't celebrate if you make it to the major, right? That was never my point.
I remember you getting
the whole point of my point was, I can tell by the teams that did it and really got emotional because they deep down know they're not going to do anything at the major. That's why the real reason that guy goes ham if it was at the major qualifier or whatever. But forget that. This is a fucking minor.
Yeah.
Like the idea you cry and rise out relief for the minor, like, mate, you haven't actually done anything yet. Like, all you've done is it's like you've booked your ticket to the big dance where you might trip over and turn out to be an arsehole. Like, you haven't even succeeded yet. Like, what is this?
Like what I'll say with that is, first of all, I don't mind. You can have a cry. Fuck it, I'm a bitch, me. Like, I watch fucking movies and fucking well up all the time, you know what I mean? Like, mate, Carlito's way still fucks me up, you know what I mean? So what can I say about that? Like, I got no problem.
Fair enough.
I got no problem with it. But what I will say is, if you're trying to represent yourself as a fucking hardcore G, you're dropping fucking tactical crouching in someone's mouth 1 minute, you win the round. Like, man up.
No, I will say
but
that's
you can't say these days. Unspecified gender up, please.
Like, put it this way: if you're trying to make it, like, hey man, you don't know the way I live. You come down where I live. You see how this. I made it neutral enough. I made it neutral enough. Could have been any country in
Can you stop watching Narcos before you come on this fucking podcast?
Listen,
can you fucking stop?
I don't know what you say about me.
Just hyping this up on me. I'm gonna get this fucking bag.
So anyway, my point is, if you are like that, like, you don't know the way I live, man.
Well, that's worse. That was worse.
Anyway, if you're going to do all
sounded
that,
like Pachanga from Carlito's.
You can't then
Remember
go into
Pachanga?
a room, and then when someone comes and knocks on the door and opens it up, you're just watching, like, fucking the end of Black Beauty or something, the horse dies, and you're like, oh, bloody hell, he was such a... Like, you can't have both in your personality.
No, I know, exactly. I'll be honest, I never cried at Black Beauty. Just want that on the record. Don't make the joke. I know you're gonna do a porn joke.
Just
Duncan,
gonna leave that there.
don't.
Just gonna-
Just let it
leave
hang.
that
Just
there.
don't do it.
Just leave that
We'll put in a preemptive timestamp. We'll just fucking. We'll get through the title sequence. But anyway, so the
Unlike
one thing
that
I
bootleg one, Mister.
there it is. There it is. There it is. Well,
The horse didn't die in that one though, so.
no. This fucking George Orwell's Animal Farm isn't how I remember it from the book.
Yeah, there we go. There's a reference.
Yeah,
Leave that
there's
one
a
for
fucking
kids to figure
reference.
out.
Yeah, we'll put that in. You can Google that shit. Fucking hell, I thought the pigs took over, but it's an eel in this one, right? Definitely timestamp that. Anyway. I told you I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing events. Who cares? Right. So, yeah, the one thing I wanted to say about Furia before we fucking tap the fuck out is, there was a lot of hype around Kei Serato coming into this. As this young kid, he almost joined MIBR, and then Fury wanted too much money for him. There was this other kid who was playing on the team, Yuri, who sort of looked like if you took those pods from The Fly, right, and you took Golden and Harry Potter, and they both went through and fused to become, I don't know, Potterfly. He was sick. This kid was mental. In fact, the stats that he must have posted in the NA minor must have been better than Iwu's, I would say. He was unreal how good he was. Like, just fragging for days. So I thought, like, actually, you know what? They weren't just some one-dimensional team. That's why I took my eye off them a little bit and said, oh, I don't think they'll do much. Remember, I was bigging up Kei Serato and seeing what prospect he was. It was like that twin firepower of, like, Kei Serato and Yuri. Like, Yuri was the best player on this team. Hands down. He was unreal. So, like, I'm saying, watch this kid. He's ridiculous. He's going to be really, really good. Unfortunately, if the next tournament is the major, he might not get a lot of chance to show it, but definitely one to watch, no doubt. Right, anyway, unless you've got anything to add about obscure 80s VHS tapes, Duncan, we can wrap up the show here.
No, I mean, I will say, like, actually, what's bizarre is probably the most impressive part of this minor was either Furia as a team, respect to them for managing to actually make the major, or it just as a player, KNG did go fucking ham. Fair play. The guy went absolutely dominant.
You're right, actually. I feel bad for leaving KNG out. The Ints didn't make it, but yeah, again, we're back to that old. It's just going to be treading the old ground, isn't it? KNG, really too good to be this far down the pecking order.
The positive thing for me, though, is like at least this generation does have some players like the ones you were talking about for Furia, because it looked in the past like because everyone had already had their chance in Immortals, you'd basically recycled all the talent. So yeah, I don't particularly want to see like Steel go and join fucking MIBR, but you know what, the Kei Serato guy keeps going. One day could like actually. Here's
what's interesting though.
The only thing that did tilt me, though, is just thematically, if we're going to have all these different Brazilian teams, can't fucking KNG play for the Furia team? Because if you remember in the movie, fucking Riddick, where they had the Furians or whatever they were called, and they were the race of, like, savage creatures that could survive and stuff, how was KNG not thematically perfect for that? Kind of a minor quibble.
Mad reference. Right.
I should really take all these like totally frivolous concerns and do a whole thing where it's like me in the old days writing up like my correspondence, like, dear owner of Furia, I'm writing to you about the very important topic. Have you seen the movie Chronicles of Riddick in 2000? Are you aware?
If you want to
of
just
the
bring this
sir?
up. If you want to just quickly bring this up, Sam, and then I'll definitely end the show because I know we got to go do something else. All right, but like somebody made a thread, and you'll appreciate this, Duncan, because it's statistical data. And somebody said, "Oh, look at KNG stats at the minor so far. Damn!" It's like you can see here. It's in the chat if you want to have a look, Duncan. See, there he is. 28 kills against Bravado. 34 against Imperial with a 28 thrown in there as well. A 27 again against Bravado. A 24 against Bravado. And then someone come along and made another thread saying, just take a look at KNG's performance this past year against top 10 teams, right? And needless to say, it's not as good. And I thought he had a little bit of the benefit of that almost Ziwu-esque love. I like it when people do this. He had 9 kills against Big, 11 against NRG. Thought it was interesting. Just putting that out there. Or maybe KNG's not as good as we think. But no, I think he's too good playing on this.
Oh, he's overqualified.
And some of those results were in that now Tem Como lineup where they were just all fucking wrecked fucking all the time. You know what I mean? Didn't even know what the fuck was going on. You know, the party team.
Where they were literally like, right, in 2018, we're going to test out your hypothesis, FNX, that if we all just fuck around and don't practice and try and be a proper team, we might still be really good. Oh, shit, it didn't work out. Who could have known? You can't blame us for trying. Like, fuck it. It's 2018, fuck's sake.
I know. Right, anyway, let's wrap
Narrator, it didn't work out. Like, obviously.
Yeah, usually Morgan Freeman in there, don't you? Two things never happened after that day.
Now, I'd like to say that KNG made it in Now Tim Como. Sometimes he didn't.
Yeah. Good old Boggs never walked again. It's a classic. Classic line. Right, anyway, thanks to all of the, first thanks to the sponsor, Rivalry.gg. Go to Rivalry.gg RLS. If you want to, support the channel, support the show, we're going to actually do some more engagement and stuff with them a little bit later about some of the other things they got going on. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on the show about that. In fact, I should probably reference this because I did promise I was going to. They actually put out an article in conjunction with Fnatic, who's another team that they sponsor, that you guys should go and check out. I'll put a link in the chat and in the description, but you can see it's on the Fnatic Twitter. They actually created a document looking at a lot of the issues with unregulated gambling in esports, why it's a bad thing, what you can do, what orgs can do to clean up esports betting, which obviously we talked about earlier in the podcast, and make it better. A lot of people sort of dismissed that and said, oh, they're just shilling for their own brand. Obviously, there's some self-interest there because they work in that space, but people should go check it out and support what Rivalry are going to do. And then, of course, obviously, a shout out to all of the patrons. Which I will read now. Our $100 patrons, Jerky's Minion, Botvic, Kashanath, Detlef Insomniac, thanks to all of you. Our $50 patrons, Manuel Stockley, Rekovic on Steam, Sardsawar, Pete Bidstrup, Cal, TC Owens, Watch Doge, Carv, Roosty, Ditter Dawn of Christensen, Nastradamus, Marcus Kiumpar, Madsen, Colin Penny, Benakagi Sashin, and William Southern. That was by the numbers. We'll tell you about the rest of the stuff that went on, the Miners Last Chance, E-League, and all that as soon as we can get round to it. But until then, take care of yourselves.